Right, hello everyone, and we are live. Chat with the lads on a Sunday. Plenty of things to talk about. We've got Tharian, we've got Mercian, we've got Jack. Well, let's dive straight into the news. We've got the Scottish girl to talk about. I can't remember whether we talked about it last week or not, but we're going to talk about it again. So we're going to talk about the Scottish girl. We're going to talk about Lucy, who's out of jail. We're going to talk about the court overturning the rule on the hotel in Epping, and that's it. Let's start with the Scottish girl, because that was like that blew up kind of like last weekend. I haven't seen anything on Twitter about it for the last few days, but what a strange reaction. I mean, it turns out that the guy is some kind of Bulgarian wannabe gangster. Yeah, and all the leftoids are just rallying behind him. It's very, very strange.
You see the pictures that they used of him in like in the media. It was all going for the good Christian boy image again.
Right.
Just nice pictures, not of any of his little gangster pictures. No.
Yeah. We're gonna have a mural of him up on the wall and some graffiti like they did with George Floyd.
Yeah.
Well, except he's still around, isn't it? But I mean, look, I'm a bit discombobulated, to be honest with you, because I've just realised I've opened this thing on Firefox and I can't share my Twitter screen. But anyway, Zuma. No, there's a guy who said he spoke to the mum, right? So I'll just read this out with you. Maybe people have seen the tweet, maybe they haven't, but we'll go over it again. So a person called Aesthetica on Twitter said, I spoke with the mum of one of the girls, got the entire story. So she says, first of all, the reporting got the names of the girls mixed up. There were 3 girls who were accosted and attacked by the migrants. Lola is the hero in the video. Ruby is Lola's older sister who was attacked and hospitalized. Maya was Ruby's best friend who was with them and went to call the police. So, and basically what happened is the girls were out walking and the man in the picture made comments to Lola, the younger girl, calling her sexy and other sexual remarks. The girls started telling the man to leave them alone and stop following them. After that, the man's sister came around the corner and physically attacked, not Lola, but the older sister, grabbed her hair, dragged her on the floor, started to punch her. Both the man and woman were kicking her in the head when she was on the floor. At this point, the daughter, Maya, called the police. And then Lola pulled out the knives, basically. And then the man came back and was recording Lola and asking her to show the knife and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the story that's come out from the mum, basically. And so there's another development from Zuma. Basically, there are multiple articles from various newspapers stating that the sisters were missing for the weeks leading up to the incident. So I don't know how that conflicts with the mum. We don't know what's going on, and we don't know. You know, but there's some guy called Jeff Halm who made a comment, said missing since July 29. The last time Lola was seen, she was wearing a blue night t-shirt and light blue jeans with tears on the knees. That's the same outfit she was wearing in the video from late August. I think Scotland just arrested a girl who escaped from being kidnapped. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe, because the mum seems to say they were just going out for a walk. So the conclusion is we don't really know what's happened. I mean, one of my takes from the whole story is I'm just disappointed nobody's gone up there and interviewed her. I mean, like, how many e-celebs do we have in this country? Nobody can get in a car, drive up to Scotland, knock on the door and talk to the mum and find out what's happened. She was arrested, the girl.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Do we know? Because like
she's
underage as well. So what's the law on that?
Yeah,
I've got no idea
if she's still being held anywhere or if she's been released or not. I don't know.
Well, they could talk to the mum. They could talk to the sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's definitely been a lot of like class snobbery that you've seen coming out from people. Like going, oh, she's just like lower class scum, basically. And people, like some people who you'd hope would be on side, are just sort of taking that attitude. Even though, you know, no matter how, like, let's pretend she's as bad as all like the leftists say, she's just a little girl.
Yeah. can you imagine that? I mean, how old is she? 13, 12, something
12
like
was
that?
the younger one, yeah. With the weapons, yeah, 12.
What does it take for a 12-year-old girl to tool up like that?
Yeah. I mean, she sounded scared. There was real terror in her voice. Oh, we've lost Bruce's.
We've
Looks like
lost
you're the
Bruce's.
host now, Tharian.
Right. What are the 14 words again?
Yeah, you back?
I think so.
Nope.
Nope.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Should we just keep going with what you were
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
The guy. Not much talking about the guy doing that.
Whew. Sorry about that. No, I was, like I said, I was on Firefox. I logged out of Firefox. I've logged back in on Brave. So hopefully I can share my Twitter file now. Sorry, please continue. Don't allow me to interrupt you. What were you saying? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you, Clem Fandango.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been also the annoying sort of the usual magatards coming out going, oh, you know, she voted for this. It's a 12-year-old girl. What are you talking about? She didn't vote for anything.
Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, no, you've touched. Who is that guy that can't open the jar? The Christian guy, manosphere guy, always going on pearly things, always hanging out on the whatever podcast, married to the woman who's had two husbands.
I know you're talking about, yeah. Andrew, somebody, is it?
Andrew Wilson, Andrew, I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Famous MAGA tart. Well, not really a MAGA, just the manosphere guy. Yeah, he did the tweet. He did a tweet coming out and saying just what you're saying, Tharian, that, you know, they deserve it.
Yeah.
She deserves it because she voted for it. It's just such... Andrew Wilson, yeah, there you go. It's such just manosphere poison. I mean, it's American poison, but it's also manosphere poison as well.
Well, no disrespect to our US brethren, but a lot of bad stuff comes from that country.
Oh, it all does.
A lot of good stuff as well, but I mean, the poison that comes out of that country.
Yeah.
I also think there's a thing within the US where they like to make themselves feel better by gloating about how bad things are in Europe. Very
100%.
often without much evidence. It's nothing more than as soon as they see something is bad, they'll go, God, look how terrible the Europeans are. Look how much better we are.
Europe has fallen. Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And obviously it's a bit distasteful, particularly when it involves this sort of subject matter.
Yeah. Well, they've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got an eternal chip on their shoulder because they're Americans, and they just they had a rebellion against us, basically, and it's just really deeply ingrained in their identity that, you know, they fought against us for liberty. And so, I mean, like I always say, they got daddy issues, basically. I mean, there's only one way to explain it. They got daddy issues.
It's especially bitter when they do it on the basis that I blame a lot of the problems that we have today on them.
I saw somebody reply with a tweet to you going, oh, they hope that they want the CIA to start arming us.
To send guns to
it's like,
the UK.
I just went like, can the CIA
just alone, please?
Yeah, that's all. Just stop interfering. If the CIA did nothing, that would be a great improvement.
Yeah, they got. I don't know what it. I mean, the way I feel about it is, I mean, this is why I'm so enthusiastic about the raise the flag movement, because I think America is like a ship at sea without an anchor, because they don't know who they are, because they've got daddy issues. They cannot admit that they are an English colony. The Canadians don't have this problem. The Australians don't have this problem. They have quite a, you know, we can get on with them fine. They've got their own identity. You talk to an Australian and he knows that he's an Australian, but he also knows that England ultimately is his homeland, and he doesn't have an issue with it. But the Americans do. And because they can't identify as being English, now their entire identity is based around the Constitution. And so it becomes essentially a civic nationalist nation. It becomes a nation of values, because they can't just turn around and say, I'm English, you know?
More pertinently, they are in this contradictory position whereby they happen to be the global power, the global hegemon, and yet they refuse to acknowledge that they are, because they don't want to use the E word, that word being empire.
Yeah.
And it explains a lot of their thrashing around, because they simultaneously want to maintain their position as the number one country on the planet, especially in a current environment where Russia are challenging them in Ukraine and China are very much gearing to challenge them over Taiwan. But at the same time, they don't want to admit who they are. And this means that there's this kind of backwards relationship with Europe, where they simultaneously want to keep Europe under their thumb, but at the same time won't acknowledge that they are the cause of a significant number of problems here in Europe.
Well, while we're having a go at America, and I'm glad America are the hegemon for now. I hate it in this country when people apply American standards to everything. Like you'll get a leftist sort of saying, "This isn't a Christian country," and it's like, well, actually, we are supposed to, whether we believe Charles is a Christian head of state, that's a different debate.
Yeah.
But in theory, we are a Christian country. Stop applying Americanisms to this country. We are a different country. It drives me crazy.
The big one of those is the nation of immigrants thing.
Yeah.
Yes. That is true to America, but it is not true to Europe.
Yeah. I hate this copy and paste American civic values on the rest of the world. It's just, it doesn't apply to the rest of the world. It applies to America, and they can keep it. We need to assert who we are, and we are supposed to be, whether we are or not, supposed to be a Christian nation. At least on paper, we are.
Yeah.
Well, even the whole Black Lives Matter thing is just completely insane. I mean, that's an American revolt. George Floyd didn't die here in England, and yet all the blacks rally behind him, and it's insane. And I just don't think we had that kind of thing in the 90s. I don't remember the blacks being that, like, they seemed a lot more assimilated, to be honest with you, because they all came here by choice. They knew they came here by choice. So obviously there were a lot of problems and muggings. I mean, they say the first muggings happened in this country when the Jamaicans started coming over. So you still had racial issues, but they didn't have the same chip on their shoulder that the Americans had. But in the last decade or so, they seem to have adopted all of that anger from the American blacks.
I mean, they sort of phrase it as the empire for us rather than slavery. But it's the same feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, just from a real place of sense of inferiority on their part. Because, I mean, we're talking about, like, it's like, again, you're talking about Americans having their chip on shoulders. Like, for Africans, the chip is like, well, you were Stone Age people. Until Europeans came along, you were stuck in the Stone Age. And they want to pretend they were like Wakanda.
Yeah. Ooh.
And we stole everything from them, all the technology.
Yeah.
Where's all the technology?
Did you see Akon City?
No.
So there's this rapper, Akon, American rapper, and he went to Senegal, I think, and he got something like $8 billion worth of investment, and he was going to build basically as Wakanda. It's like high-tech Afro-futuristic city. And there's also a crypto rug pull that he pulled with that, and it ended up completely falling through. And there is currently just a husk of one little like wooden building there, and that's it. $8 billion just gone.
Do you know my favourite thing about that Afrofuturism in the Black Panther movie?
Yeah.
So like we've got to make it look all futuristic and like way ahead of anything the Europeans. But how do we make it look African? We'll put mud huts in there as well. So like,
they still have mud huts and And
It's
they,
like-
how do they open their sort of technology? Bongo drums.
It's just like, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, guys. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of outrageous. I thought the Scottish would kick off. Count Dankula talked about the Scottish girl, and basically he talked about Dundee, and he basically said Dundee is the arsehole of Scotland, and it's not unfamiliar for kids to be walking around with knives, essentially. So there is that element of the story. He also pointed out in his 5-minute video that he's been stabbed, like he's been stabbed and slashed.
He worked security as a bouncer.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising.
Right, but I don't think. Well, maybe it was when he was a bouncer, but I mean, he said it was just like kids with knives, basically. So I think it's a bit rough up in Scotland. I think
In Glasgow, yeah, he's a Glasgow lad. Yeah.
It's a bit rough up there. I mean, did you see Callum, the recent holiday in Scotland?
Yeah.
And so he's talking to him, and he's just like, yeah, we go out drinking. You go out drinking with your mate, and then you have an argument, and you have a punch up, and then you just shake hands, and that's the end of it. This is just like casual Scottish behavior, apparently. So I mean, there is that element to the story when people are saying, well, obviously I'm on the girl's side, right? I mean, like, but there is some element of truth when they say that this is kind of like working class Scottish teenage behavior, putting knives on people.
But I mean, like I said, like she was clearly scared. She wasn't, like, because some people are trying to claim that she was harassing the guy. Utter bullshit, right? I mean, and even if that was true, like some kid pulls out a knife and an axe, I'm not going to go up, like, harass him, go, oh, pull him out, get it out of the phone. I'm just going, okay, whatever. You just walk away. Yeah.
Well, because he knew the police would be on his side.
Yeah, of course.
So that's it, isn't it? So yeah, pretty terrible situation, really. I mean, it's just kind of amazing to see a whole bunch of people rallying behind a Bulgarian wannabe gangster.
I mean, yeah, that's but also it's on the other side, just in general with everything at the moment, they do seem to have a lot of support from people all around the place.
Yeah, well, like, Elon's talking about having a revolution.
Yeah.
We got this march going on. I mean, we actually, all this bad stuff is happening, but we are actually, we've got a very, very pro-English American establishment now.
Yeah.
We've got Trump is on our side, Vance is on our side, Elon's on our side. Twitter is basically turning into 4chan. I mean, I'm saying all kinds of things on Twitter, which I would have got banned for before, and I'm getting away with it for some reason. So everybody's talking about Israel, everybody's talking about the Jewish question. People are marching. We've got reform. They're going to win in 2029. It's just, are they going to do anything good or not? We don't know. But still, everybody knows they've got it in the bag. And our demographic situation is not as bad as America. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's just we've got.
I'm not so optimistic.
You're not.
No, just on the basis that the way that power works, very often you will get these pendulum swings of I don't know what the right term is, but it's like appeasement, I guess, and that's what we're currently getting, I believe. In that, I think that the powers that be realized that they went too far with a lot of the woke stuff, and it was incredibly unpopular. And so now they're making a gesture of pushing back the other way. They'll get rid of Labour because they've just been absolutely awful. It's not even so much what they've done; it's how incompetent they are, especially when Blair's out of the country. They'll bring in reform, and then all reform will do is some token gestures, maybe get rid of a couple of illegal migrants, but they won't solve any of the deeper issues.
I mean, of course, like Farage's little show, his deportation show. It's
and
got a lot-
we've seen this with America as well.
Yeah.
So America, one of the big reasons Trump won the election, and it was clear that he would beforehand, was that a significant number of the factions and lobbyist groups within US politics switch over to the Republicans.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Trump comes in and he does a couple of things. You know, we've seen increased ICE activity and such, but as a whole, there's still a lot of more of the same in particular areas. And MAGA, I'd say, have a lot more kind of. They're further along than anything in this country is in at least a right-leaning sense. So I'm not optimistic at all.
Yeah.
I don't see the Americans talking about mass deportations.
Well,
I
they
guess
do
are
have
with
their
Mexicans.
ICE agents and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
They're kind of. I mean, at one stage, the people were saying, "Oh, look, it is possible to get rid of all our illegal immigrants at once." Unfortunately, Nigel is not. I mean, I assume you're familiar with fox and lion theory in elites.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Right,
go
then.
on. No, tell us. I don't know that.
Right. Okay. So there's two types of elite. There's the cunning fox and the brave lion, in a nutshell. And Nigel is just another cunning fox. You know what I mean? We really need a lion to get in there and start bashing heads, because unfortunately, so we've got this fictional political party. Could be Advance, could be a reform in another universe somewhere. But you need a lion. I mean, I don't know if you think Rupert Lowe is a lion, but let's make Rupert Lowe a lion.
I mean, Rupert Lowe is clearly one of the better MPs that we've got, but he won't come within an inch of real power, unfortunately.
Why do you
but
think
he's
he's a
not
lion?
starting a
No, that's
party.
the question.
No, I don't think so. Because fundamentally, he is a businessman, right? And the whole thing with Pareto is that the foxes are the merchant class and the priestly class, and so he would count as one of the merchant class. He's not. He's not a man of violence. He's not part of that kind of aristocratic warrior class.
According to Reform, he is.
Yes, according to Zia Yusuf.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, he's a lion. And is allied himself with Advance, and what you want to think of him, but Tommy Robinson's definitely a lion, and he's proved that time and time again.
No.
Yeah, and he's a silly lion.
Tommy Robinson. My kind of conspiracy with him is that he's very much put in place to stir tensions between Jewish and Muslim factions, neither of which are concerns for me.
I mean,
I see that. Yeah,
I mean, I get that. Like, you like the idea that like they're just a bioweapon, basically, but there's still a problem.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter, we do need a lion because the first thing let's say we have a party that gets into it who represents us, right? And we assume we've got a lion there. The first thing they've got to do is just tear out everything Blair did and tear out the civil servants and all the crangos. Day
one, Act 1, get rid of the 2010 Equality Act. First thing, second.
Yeah, not a moment to spare.
We need martial law. That's what we need. Day one martial law, basically.
Like
I mean, we did it for lockdown. Why can't we just do it again?
Yeah, I mean, anyone who comes in needs to have iron, and Farage doesn't. Him and his weak little
no
chin
way,
and
definitely
jowls. Those weak chin and jowls. No. It'll fold instantly. And like his deportation plan thing, I thought that was an absolute joke. I mean, they're promising. They say their their goal is only 600,000 only. And I like with everything.
And they want to keep essential workers for the NHS.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. And like with everything with government, I think like, okay, halve the numbers, double the cost, just as a start before anything else happens. So you're looking at like 300,000 a year. I mean, so you're looking at like 5,000, 50,000 a year, maybe. When I mean, Keir Starmer, last I checked, has already done 35,000 this year. So you're barely any better than what Labour's doing. What a joke.
Yeah, everyone's going to be disappointed. There'll be a big celebration. Oh yeah, we've smashed the system, and he'll probably stop the boats. He'll have to stop the boats, and there'll be some deportations, and people will clap, and that will go on for about a year or so. And
I'm not even confident that they'll get us out of the
ECHR.
ECHR. Yeah.
Well, I mean, his plan was just wasn't it just we'll suspend it for 5 years? So he's not actually planning on his plan isn't even to get rid of it, which I don't know why. Why wouldn't you just get rid of it? If it's so bad.
It doesn't have the iron. I mean, we need someone that's going to walk it. We need an absolute cunt. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need someone who's just going to fucking walk out, that just say fuck off to everybody, take over the country, and just clean the whole thing up, and declare himself king. Essentially.
Yeah. And the reason it's not going to happen is because historically these individuals have only come about in much worse conditions than we've got. Material conditions. We're talking like men living in the mountains, eating squirrels. Those sort of individuals.
What about that Ant Middleton character? What do we think of him?
The SAS guy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If he was all that, he wouldn't be jumping on to make an SAS TV show like he did.
Yeah.
To me, that's a bit of a red flag.
I don't know. I don't know. He's new to politics. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
He's someone I'm keeping my eyes open. I don't know yet.
He does have the military background, which is fair, but I haven't seen any other sign from him aside from that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why I like it, because it's a kick in the face for all the neo-Nazis, because they obviously, they love Adolf Hitler, they hate Winston Churchill, and so they're very anti-British military. And one of the reasons I've complained about this for a long time is that we need the British military on our side. Duh.
I know who we need. We need Iron Duke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Iron Duke as regent. Yeah. We get rid of William and Charles. Stick George on the throne. Make Iron Duke regent. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, he has mentioned he would love to do any sort of history stream with you. He's mentioned this a couple of times.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I meant with Jack.
Oh, well, I have been on... Sorry about that, Brutus. I have been on his channel doing history streams with him. But yes, he does ask me every week.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he'd love you as well, Brutus. He's always asking for people to go on his channel.
Well, I plugged this yesterday on his stream.
I was a founding member of the show. I mean, so there's that.
I plugged this yesterday, and he said, "Oh, well, that's a blast from the past," and remembered fondly streaming with you. So,
yeah, Iron Duke's a good guy. I've got a lot of respect for Iron Duke. He's a proper soldier. Slugged it out 4 years now, isn't it? 4 years been running that show.
Yeah.
So yes, he's good. Yeah, he's a historian as well. Knows his stuff. But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I like Iron Duke and the SAS guys, because we need the military on our side. Because unlike a lot of people in the dissident right, I think this is actually one of the problems, is that a lot of people are very middle class, because it's kind of usually middle class people that end up reading Julius Evola, and so they don't understand. I don't know, they probably don't mix or mingle with soldiers. I mean, I do working class jobs. I work in factories. And so I always end up working with soldiers or ex-soldiers. And so I kind of know their mentality. And they are not impressed by Julius Evola, right? Or the 14 words, or Lord Haw-Haw, or any of this kind of bullshit.
Gaetano Mosca or someone.
Yeah, but they're all tough guys and they love England. And these are the guys that we need on our side.
Well, this is to go back to Mercian's lion and fox thing. So we mentioned the foxes are the merchant and the priestly classes of society. When you've got the lions in power, what it is this alliance between the kind of the working man that you describe and the aristocrat. It's that sort of alliance.
Yeah. Who made? Sorry, where does this theory come from? This I can smell the
Pareto.
Academic agent. Sorry.
Yeah. Pareto. It's from Vilfredo Pareto.
Yeah.
The Pareto, the guy that did the Pareto principle.
Yes.
20%.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a political theorist as well, was he? Sorry.
Yes, he was a political theorist. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So I do watch a lot of AA as well. So and that's where
as do I.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, we need a lot. I mean, like my whole shtick, my whole thing, obviously, for the last 5 years, I've been banging on about it. Is just that the dissident right, the ethno-nationalist movement in England is just out of line with the British people, basically. I mean, you could give an example like 2 tuning forks. You can watch a YouTube video. Somebody rings a tuning fork, like a C, and they put it standing here, and they have another tuning fork over there. And the tuning, even though it's not touching or anything like that, it'll start vibrating because there's something in the air. You know, it's like a hippie thing. You know, the vibe is the right vibe. So the way I see it, you know, the British public, they're on like note C, and the dissident right, the ethno-nationalist movement, they're playing a totally different note. They're not in tune with the British public. They're on a different vibration. If you go on Twitter, and I see this all the time on Twitter. There'll be some account, and it'll be like a picture of Alfred the Great, or some other English king, or an English lion, or it look very, very English. And you scroll down, and then it's like, 14 words, right? 14 words, and at least we're not speaking German, and all of this stuff. And it's like the British public are not going to rally behind that.
And then you go on the location, and it says account based in India.
yeah, every time.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but I mean, a lot of the time, no. I mean, like, take Zoomers. I mean, I like Steve Laws, and I like Zoom. I think they're genuine guys. I don't think they're feds or anything like that. I mean, but you take Zoomer historian, like he's got a Wojak with it looks like a safari hat on or something. So it looks like a British soldier, but at the same time, he's like makes a whole bunch of videos defending Adolf Hitler. So it's like, well, what are you doing, mate? Like, whose side are you on? Like, it doesn't match up. It's schizophrenic. You got the wrong end of the stick here. Like, people are not going to rally behind this bullshit.
I mean, yeah, like we've said, Churchill has his problems, but you should try and claim the myth of him for our side rather than shitlib side, like pretending he was for multiculturalism or anything. That doesn't help.
It doesn't help. It's like, look, it comes down, it's like your father, okay? So, like, maybe your father is an alcoholic, and maybe your father is not such a great person, but he's still your father, right? So if some dickhead is slagging him off, what are you going to do? You're going to tell him to F right off, aren't you? You can't have somebody insulting your own father, because it ends up being an insult against you, and it makes you look bad, and it makes you look weak. In the same way, Churchill's ours. He's ours. He's part of our family. He's part of our history. And if we tear him down, we're just opening ourselves up to insults, which is exactly what's happening, because we've got a bunch of Americans sitting on the internet saying, oh, the English are the Jews of Europe, right? You know, yeah. You got a cultured thug. I mean, this is a long time ago, but I still remember it. But saying, you know, white girls in England deserve to be raped by Muslims because of Dresden.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I would like us to lean more into our Englishness a bit more, because in previous eras, I wouldn't have thought the English as a very sort of doctrinal sort of race of individuals. I think doctrine is more of a continental way of thinking. Like they're caught with fascism and well, communism. You said Marx. Marx. He wasn't. He was a Jew who was thrown out of what, Germany, was it? It's very It's all these isms are all very continental theories.
Yeah, I mean,
the English typically just bumble along, and we sort of make do and work it out as we go. We don't have a mind of this is the rule book and we're going to do it this way. And that's what's creeped into the English system. The continentalism or globalism that's happening in this country is tearing us to bits, because it's just weird and wrong. Yeah, it's not our way of doing things. It's German idealism. Yeah. And it's all a word. It's a giant word salad. It's Keith Woods, it's Julius Evola, and it's all really big sentences with strange words that just doesn't really add up too much. And we talked about this last week, didn't we? Because Sargon is gradually getting corrupted, unfortunately. You know, I love Sargon, but I could just see, like, you know, in the we talked in the latest
Islander magazine. You see the advert for it, and he's talking about the K and then the plume and the using these weird like words to describe things. And it's like, mate, this is just continental bollocks where you just invent a word, right? You can't explain your philosophical idea in plain English, so you just invent a word, right?
I mean, I have to point out that all words are made up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, your average Englishman likes to explain things in plain English. The whole idea of I'm a philosopher. Oh, what the fuck is it? I'm a philosopher. I'm going to create a new word to explain something. That's a very continental way of doing things.
Nietzsche called us intellectually lazy, the English, and
yeah, I'll claim that
he's right. But I don't take that as an insult. It's like, okay, it's like while you German nerds try and figure out the secrets of all the universe, we'll just go conquer half the world, and then we'll come back and we'll Ubermensch your mum. How about that?
Yeah. Well, it's straight talking. Our tradition is the empirical tradition, and the continental tradition is the rational tradition. So empirical means, empiricism. It means you epistemologically, you get your evidence from observing the world. It means science. You look at the world and you say, well, that's what's going on. And
Hume vs. Descartes.
Sorry?
Hume vs. Descartes. Classic example of Descartes being French, Hume being Scottish.
Yeah. So in the rational tradition, it's all about arguments. Like, we can understand everything with our minds. You end up building up a huge collection of logical arguments. I guess that Jew Spinoza would be the best example of it. Just like a giant mesh of ideas, and it's like, this is but it's detached from reality. It's all in your head. So there you go. I mean, I like Descartes, actually. I think Descartes was probably the best of them, to be honest with you. I mean, he was a soldier, he was a fighter. And that's one reason why he was very popular, because he wasn't a trained philosopher. He just wrote down what he thought, and he got to the heart of things, and he said, I think, therefore I am, which is a very good statement, I think. So, I mean, he's probably the best of the rationalists.
Yeah, his mission was to actually get to the bedrock of what we know, empirically know to be true. Like, it can't be twisted, and it was. I think, therefore I am, so I know I exist. Numbers exist independent of mind, and obviously God for Descartes as well. So those are the three philosophical bedrock that you can't do anything about. It's solid. You can't attack.
Yeah,
it's going down a bit of a rabbit hole, so I'm hesitant to bring it up. But
sorry,
I think that the solution to the divide between the rationalists and the empiricists was Kant, and particularly his pitchfork in response to Hume's fork.
Well, go
on, but I realise that this is going way off topic.
No, go on. What is the pitchfork?
So Hume's fork was laying out that you have a priori knowledge, which is knowledge that is true by definition, and a posteriori knowledge, which is empirical knowledge, as you say. It's knowledge based on observation. And Hume concluded that all a priori knowledge must be analytic and all a posteriori knowledge must be synthetic. And basically Kant came along and said, no, it's possible to get synthetic a priori knowledge. And this was a big deal because Hume had basically thrown Newton's, I don't know if it was his laws of motion.
Well, hang on. What is synthetic and the other one? What do you mean? I understand a priori, not a priori means already in your head, essentially. A posteriori, or whatever it means empirical, right? What's the difference between...
A priori means something that is inherently true by the definition of the term. So a triangle has three sides. Is an a priori statement in that you cannot, if it had a fourth side, it would not be a triangle, right? Yeah. Whereas a posteriori is, as we say, is empirical. So it's seeing something and then observing that. The fundamental thing is that when you observe something a posteriori, in theory, it could be wrong. So looking at a particular color, for instance, you see it, so you say it's that color, but in theory, you could be wrong. And the analytic and synthetic divide are about whether the knowledge is built within the premise of what that is, or if it's something additional. So, for instance, saying that all bachelors are single would be an analytic a priori statement on the basis that it is true by definition and it's contingent on kind of what is encapsulated within that. And so Hume was saying that all a priori knowledge must be analytic and that it's encapsulated within that, and rather than adding something else to it, which would be synthetic. And Kant came along and he said that metaphysics and mathematics are synthetic a priori and that this exists. And the common example everyone uses is that the interior angles within a triangle add up to 180 degrees. This is synthetic because that's not part of the definitive aspect of that statement. It's an additional piece of information, but it is true without the need to observe it. So that's basically what it is. And this was important because Hume's whole thing was, we can't prove that Newton's laws are correct because you can only observe this sort of knowledge. You can't know for certain. And Kant was basically coming along and saying, actually, you can know it for certain. That's the most brief summary I can give of Kant's entire critique of pure reason.
I can understand like how maths would all be a priori. I don't really understand why you're saying that just because the degrees of a triangle add up to 180 or whatever it was. It's additional information. Like, so what? It's still a priori.
Yes, so it is synthetic a priori. It's synthetic because it's an additional piece of information. It's not part of the kind of definitive circle of what's being said.
But it is
also true. Yeah, so it's
not really additional because it is what a triangle is.
Well, it depends.
Not necessarily.
You could show a 6-year-old a triangle, and they'd understand they have 3 sides, but they understand that each corner ends up 280 degrees.
Exactly.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's still intrinsically part of what a triangle is. Whether it's not the simplistic explanation of what a triangle is, but it is part. It is mathematically a triangle must have that.
That's why it's a priori, but it's synthetic because it's not part of the kind of definition of it. If that makes sense. It's like it's something that's true without the need to observe it, but it's not part of the definition of the term.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But as I say,
anyway, I
understand.
This is a massive. Well, I understand. Like the Western tradition's got a long tradition of it started going all the way going back to Plato and Pythagoras. Or just looking at mathematics and saying, "Oh, mathematics is so perfect and beautiful and nice. Let's make philosophy the same." And I just don't think that's possible, like practically speaking.
Should we have started this stream with some bark and then gone right now for our philosophy stream?
Why? Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's possible. I mean, because we don't think mathematically. We don't view the world mathematically. It's an aspect of consciousness, but it's not the everything. That's why we live in a gray zone essentially, which is why I think like the empiricism wins in the end, because you just kind of like make do. You can understand some things about what's going on in the world, like a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and etc. But the world that we live in is not mathematical.
No, well, this is Kant's whole thing. Is he's trying to say that there are different forms of knowledge. What's important is the metaphysical synthetic a priori, because that's what you know to be abundantly true. But that doesn't mean that the other sort of knowledge doesn't exist. Because the issue with empiricism is that it doesn't factor for tautology, which is basically circular statements.
Do you see?
Well, I mean, if you believe in God, that's ultimately going to be a circular statement at the end of the day. Because God is God, because he's God. Like any proof that you use to prove the existence of God is going to come from God himself.
Yes,
so
but this wouldn't be an empirical understanding of God. This would be something abundant to faith.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that like God. Any argument for the existence of God is circular. I'm just pointing that out. I'm just throwing that into the conversation.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but yeah. I just think like the continentals, they like the maths is beautiful and everything, but they get too caught up in their heads trying to create vast philosophical constructs. And I just don't think we ever fell for that in our country. I think we said, okay, like maths is fine, but what's actually going on in the world? And we're just more grounded and we've got our feet on the ground, essentially.
This is kind of Sargon's current crusade against liberalism, because liberalism is kind of universal in how it's applied, whereas his thing is, no, these are just how, like, basically the North Sea people did things, and only we get it. The rest of the world, like the French, they don't get it. The Germans, they don't get it. The Russians, they don't get it. But they want to try and, like, they think they can be a part of it, and they do it under this umbrella of liberalism.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in favor of liberalism. I don't think we should reject it. I'm
Well, like Sargon's
very
thing is,
worried that we've got so many people on the internet saying, "Oh, just liberalism is bad." It's like, well, no, that's the English way of doing things.
Sargon's thing is that it's like saying, no, I'm just for like English traditionalism, not liberalism, because liberalism is universal. English traditionalism is just us. Happens to be the same sort of thing, but one is only applied to us.
Yeah, well, no, I can get on board with both statements, and obviously we all come from whether we like to admit it or not, we all come from a liberal tradition. I think we should call ourselves post-liberals. It's basically we just fix what's wrong with liberalism, and it's this universal man idea.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah,
and now we've identified it. I think we should amend it, and then hopefully. I'm like anyone else. I remember what the 90s was like. I just want to go back to that time period. Everything seemed to work. You know, I remember some of the news stories. I mean, we had the BSE crisis and things like that, but nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we should just take the vote away from women. That's where we went wrong, basically. Universal male suffrage worked. We had the Belle Epoque. We conquered the world. White people were 25% of the world's population. We had a family-friendly culture. We had a high culture. Lots of art was being created. We had religious freedom. We were very wealthy. And it was essentially, it was a utopia. It was a golden age. And so I don't think we need to like rewrite the rule books and invent something new. We already know what has worked in the past. So let's just go back to that. I mean, the very first mistake we made was giving women the vote, because women are just, it's the force doctrine, actually. I mean, funny enough, I got this from Andrew Wilson. I've been talking about this for years, but I didn't know it was actually called the force doctrine. But essentially the idea is that unless you have the ability to defend your rights, then you don't really have your rights. So unless you know you're violent enough or whatever to defend yourself, then you're not really free. You're living under somebody else's protection. And so when it comes to women are not capable of defending themselves. They live under the protection of men, and therefore they should not be able to vote.
What do you make of the idea that I mean, was it Andrew Wilson, this idea that the pill is actually the driving force behind a lot of this excessive liberalism, should we say? Like this
probably that's obviously got a big because you can have sex and you don't have to worry about getting married, getting pregnant, and also you so you get a lot of promiscuity because of that, and you can have babies later on in life, and it's a huge problem.
Well, a lot of thought is about the hormonal aspect of it, and how it wires up women's brains to be more maternal and about looking at things, sort of thing like feeling sorry for particular people and wanting to protect. And
I'm not sure how does it make them more feminine or less? Like, how does it work?
Well, it simulates pregnancy essentially, doesn't it?
Right. So it takes away their desire.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, I'm no biologist, so I don't fully understand. But
ask Alphabet Cat. She's a woman. Hey, Alphabet Cat, do you are you more or less horny when you're on the pill? Like, I've never understood it. I've asked girls. I don't know. I get confusing answers, so I really don't understand what's going on, to be honest with you.
They have done some studies that find women on the pill tend to go for softer, more liberal men.
Right. Because they're less horny. Because if you're more horny, then you go for a more masculine man. Is that it?
I think, like Mercy said, it tricks you into thinking you're pregnant. Basically, that's how it works.
Yeah. So you just want cuddles and stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard stories like women come off they get married and stuff, and they come off the pill in order to make a baby, and then they're looking at the husband, and they're like, "What the fuck is it? What have I married?" You know, like, who's this guy? Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a fault of a lot of divorces. It wouldn't surprise me. It's perhaps why the divorce rate is so high.
Yeah, it's chemical warfare. Yeah, I watched a video. This is off topic, but whatever. I watched an interesting video last night. It just popped up on the YouTube algorithm, just threw this video at me, and I thought, let's have a look. So it was some author lady talking about books and literature and whatever. And she did a video, and the title of the video was "Feminists Have Ruined Literature" or something like this. So I thought, I'll watch this. But as I watched the video, it's like half an hour long. Basically, she came to explain that pornography has ruined literature, and I mean, she was making multiple points. First of all, she was making the point that in the old days, you would have erotic fiction, and it would kind of like be part of high literature, but not mass literature. But now it's in mass literature, so there's porn in all of the books now. I don't read any contemporary literature, so I don't know. But apparently, like, all the books that you find in all the shelves in Waterstones or whatever, all the stories, they've all got like long sex scenes in them. And she was making
sells. Like, women's erotic fiction is one of the best-selling like book genres.
Yeah, but
have you seen the? But
hang on, let me finish my point.
No, sorry, okay.
She was making the point. First of all, this destroys literature as a whole, because you don't have to be a good writer. You don't have to make a good story, because as long as it's got a sex scene in it, people will buy it. So that was one point that she made. But the other point that she made was that women are actually really addicted to porn, but nobody really realizes it, because they're into a different type of porn. Yeah. They're into literature porn. And I didn't understand. I mean, I didn't really understand this until I knew that obviously that women don't like watch, visual porn, or when they do, they usually like to watch rape porn and really hardcore stuff. But apparently, a lot of the fan fiction out there, it's all very, very pornographic. A lot of women's literature is erotic fiction, is just incredibly pornographic, and it really, really turns women on. Like, they really, really get into it in the way that a man would get into visual pornography. She even talked about, like, are you going to read the book with one hand or two? And I was like, oh, fucking hell, is this what's going on? Is this what? So yeah, that's what's going on, guys. There's a porn epidemic amongst young women. She was talking about teenage girls getting into like basically hardcore porn, reading like some of these fantasy books. They have like elf porn and fairy porn and no, really, it's a bunch of crazy stuff, and they want to get into harder and harder stuff. And basically the same addiction that people have been talking about this for men for quite some years now. It's happening to women as well.
It's weird. It's in a weird way. I don't know how to say it's a weird way, but like some of the novels I've seen marketing to women. I mean, women have no rights to have a go at men for watching porn. The stuff that having sex with dinosaurs.
What?
What?
Filth, absolute filth. And like, you see, and a bunch of it is written by women too.
Yeah. Like that Colleen Hoover, she's one of them. All of her books are basically just female pornography, and that she is a female writer.
Do you know Arch Warhammer, Sargon's mate? Any of you?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
No.
Yeah, well, he's a mate of Sargon and Norwegian guy, and he was saying once listening to him talking about this one manga series written by a woman. Of course, it's written by a woman, and it's about this magical girl who oh god, she turns herself into a seed bed for all these monsters to breed with.
Wow.
Is this just what Tumblr is?
I think it's
so.
come from that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Fucking porn epidemic going on with the ladies.
When you said ruining literature, I first thought it was like, what? Does the plumber not fix the pipes anymore then? That's where my mind went.
Well, it's an easy way of writing a story. You don't need a good plot as long as you've got a sex scene, basically.
Well, here's an AI tip for you, because I've heard someone talk about this. Just sort of like get AI to write all this women's porn thing for you.
Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah.
It's got 50 books published on Amazon now. Yeah.
We know who's behind it.
It does seem like the sort of thing that AI could just pump out really easily, because it's all.
Oh yeah, that'll be the next thing. I know that already. I've heard that TikTok is used to advertise all these women's porn books, and this is how all these teenage girls find out about it. So they scroll on their TikTok and they basically get like it reads out a sex scene or something. And they go out and buy the book. I guarantee you the next thing is that they'll just be getting AI to do that. Like the whole thing will just be generated, and then they'll be just falling in love with the AI.
That author, I've forgotten, Carolyn was it? I don't know.
Colleen Hoover.
If that's AI by now, because if she's actually writing, like, do it more efficiently, because you could do 3 books in an afternoon.
Yeah. So go on then, Mercy, and what's the prompt?
Write me a woman's erotic fiction, and you've got to do it chapter by chapter. You've got to double check it all lines up properly. That's the problem with AI.
We'll all be rich soon.
Yeah, there you go. There's my top tip for everyone. Get on the AI feminine book.
I wonder if Imperium Press will be open to publishing it.
But he's a bash. You know you need money, right?
Yeah.
It's like you see with Grok AI, you saw that that waifu character that they brought out.
God.
The blonde goth girl.
The anime
I mean,
thing.
yeah. Apparently, so they're bringing out a male version for women, and apparently it's going to be a mix. He's going to be a mix between Edward Cullen from Twilight and the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. It's like you're just annihilating women with that combination. They're not going to stand a chance.
Was this this Grok girl though? Was she actually that bad? Because I didn't see her. I saw people complaining about it, but I saw somebody made a tweet and say, "Look, this is actually an adult female. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not a child. I don't know why people are complaining about this. She's just a thin, beautiful woman."
I don't know why other people are complaining about it. My opposition to it was that I just don't want to be opening up my Twitter and seeing that. And just seeing this anime girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just too much, isn't it? It's just like porn everywhere, porn. It's just like
I know you could set her into like flirty mode or something. Apparently, so that
I like that the quick added note of apparently.
Well, I don't have Grok. I don't have Twitter Premium, so yeah.
Didn't someone do that? Set up like an AI, and he had a girlfriend at the time. I forgot who reported that. And there was a guy who basically got ChatGPT, set up the voice and everything, changed the name and everything. And it turned out he got a wife and kids on top of it. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. I don't understand if you're a complete singleton, incel. You know, maybe I can kind of get where you're coming from. But you got a wife and kids, and you're living together.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's going to be a lot of damage. I mean, I'm not actually against porn, and I'm not against. I'm very against censorship in general. I mean, we've just seen this get rolled out in England, haven't we? Of course, with the pornography. You know, they try and ban the pornography, and then they use it to ban everything else. So I think it's very dangerous to start banning stuff. But nonetheless, you know, you swamp everything in pornography, and it just kind of ruins everybody's brain, doesn't it?
Yeah. You need the Aristotelian sort of like balance on everything, don't you?
I think there's also a difference in how different groups can handle it.
Yeah.
Like if we look at like these sort of all the migrants coming in, you can tell they're all very just totally porn-brained.
It's like when the North Korean soldiers began fighting in Ukraine on behalf of Russia, and so for the first time ever, they had access to the internet, and they all just lost their minds on porn.
Yeah, I bet.
It just reminds me when Quagmire finds out about the internet and he goes missing for days. Then someone calls on him and he's like, his right arm is jacked.
Oh, well, this is what happened to India because they never used to have the internet. I watched it because I went to India first time in 2000. They just did not have the same rape problem. It all kind of grew up in the 2010s, and that's because they got the internet. And all of a sudden, you got a whole generation of Indian guys, and they're just watching porn.
What's scary is that I think 45% of India still don't have internet.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh dear, it's going to get so much worse.
Yeah, although if it makes you feel any better, it looks like the UK government is determined to turn our internet into the same as the Chinese have. Basically, a walled off little
keep the Indians out.
I'm opposed to all the Online Safety Act stuff, obviously, but I have to say that part of it maybe.
What we need to do, rather than like what China does, where they keep everything within China, what we need to do is build a wall around India, an internet wall around India. Just keep India off the rest of the world's internet. That would be a big help, I think.
Well, what you need to do is we need our own Facebook, essentially. So so basically, it should just be sponsored by the government, and it's Facebook for English people and English people only. No Americans, no foreigners, no nobody. It's just ours, and that's it. And you get like 10 gigabytes of data to upload or whatever, and it's just a basic social media platform, and your freedom of speech can be guaranteed on it. And if they kick you off, you can complain to your local MP. Why have I been kicked off? And blah blah blah.
I don't trust the government to uphold that freedom of speech.
Yeah. Well, not this government. I mean, I'm talking like ideally if we had a good government, because then you could have proper e-democracy. I mean, you could get proper polling of the population. Like, what do you think about this? And you could get an accurate reply because everybody would be on it.
Well, this goes back to the idea of we need a lion to come in and bust heads, because we have again going back, we get a political party that represents us in power, right? And we've got this British Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you that government will have nothing to do with it. It'll be all Ofcom. So if you didn't get rid of all that, the quangos like Ofcom and things like that, you stand no chance. That's why it's so difficult. I mean, maybe that's what the Tories came into, and they just folded over, and you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm just saying. Ideally, if we get, there's so many other problems that need to be solved before we fix the Facebook problem. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, get into power, kick all the foreigners out, fix the economy, and then build a British Facebook for British people only. Actually, even better, just have it for white men only. White British men. Like, just keep the women off it. It can just be men, and they just talk politics and philosophy.
Are we inviting the Welsh?
Yeah, Welsh, Scottish. We're going to reconquer Ireland. They can be in it as well. and that's it. I mean, because I know. I mean, I don't know if you know Jack and Mercian, but I believe in make England Switzerland again. I believe in referendums.
Yeah,
that's my ultimate plan. Because representative governments always go completely out of control. They always get brought out by the oligarchs, and they always just lie to the population, say they're going to do one thing and do something else. And I don't want to live in a fascist dictatorship. So what's the solution? Well, if we have referendums, then every law Parliament passes will have to be confirmed by the people, and then you'll stop the politicians from lying to you. Basically, that's the perfect system in my mind. That's what we need to go back to. Only the men can vote, and we get a referendum on everything Parliament does, and then we can have a functional country.
Well, I'd go as far as only taxpayers can vote.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean,
they don't pay tax.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or would you have to own a bit of land, whether that be a house or, you know?
Yeah, all of those systems work. I mean, the landowner system works. I mean, that worked in Rhodesia, didn't it?
Mm.
You would first have to solve that problem, though. The issue with housing prices.
Yeah,
which ideally would be solved by just deporting loads of people. But,
yeah, I was just thinking, I don't like my taxpayers being the people to vote. I don't want to pay tax. So.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, the welfare state came after women got the vote. Let's get that clear. because women, that's their entire mentality. They want the men to pay for stuff, don't they? So
I do still blame Disraeli for it. So I'd say it's a little bit before them. But
yeah,
how do you blame Disraeli?
At hairs, because he started One Nation Toryism, which was the precursor to what I believe became the welfare state. Now, sure, it was like nowhere near the extent that it would then be implemented by Labour when they came in after the war, but the ideas came about then. That's when they started discussing it and debating it.
Yeah. Well,
Jack's also the one I mentioned last time about how if you just import rich immigrants, that's
this is also problematic.
Yeah, which is like Reform's position, like their conference. There was a very pro-immigration note to it. They were just trying to, and you can see they're trying to focus all the anger on just the illegal boat people.
Yeah,
but Jack was where I got this from. Was that if
you're
just
replacing your
you turn the English into an underclass, basically.
Yeah,
Farage has always been like this. I mean, back. He was saying, "Oh, we need less Polish people and more Indians." He was saying this a decade ago. I mean, he's just unbelievably shit.
I think he's got
shit.
I think he's got that City of London vibe about him, because they kind of have that theory of mind about them. So, you know, sort of like it doesn't matter as long as they've got money to invest in the system. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Definitely comes from the city thinking that does.
Yeah, I think England's just an economic unit to them. They just want to fix the economy, basically. I mean, Farage is just a Thatcherite.
Yeah.
And so Zia Youssef, they're just Thatcherites. They don't really care about the people.
We need to put out that England is more than an economy.
And GDP. They're still stuck in that fucking GDP crap. But they say, we're talking about GDP per capita.
Yes.
Who cares? Who cares? It's still bullshit.
It's okay if you say per capita. So dividing the bad figure by population suddenly makes it good figure.
Well, it's like we're gonna have a recession worse than the 70s, or as bad as the 70s, and it's sort of like, God, I wish I was in the 70s. It looks, you know, I mean, the fashion's a bit suspect, but it looks a lot better than now.
The music was better.
Yeah, the music.
Yeah, 3-day working week. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of like. Let's face it. I mean, we haven't even hit the depths of the recession that coming. But if you got to choose between the 70s recession or now, which one do you choose?
It's no question.
Birmingham has all the bin strikes that they had back then. So there's a similarity.
Yeah, but I would imagine it'd still be better then. You know, I used to have this little phrase: everything was better in the 90s except the internet, which I think is true. I can't think of anything where that doesn't hold up.
I mean, like my secondary school, we had 2 diversity in it, and I not 2%, just 2. You're not getting that now. I mean,
my year in school we had 1 Indian.
Yeah.
And the funny thing
I
is,
didn't have any in my primary school.
the hilarious thing is, nobody even understood he was an Indian, because we didn't even know what India was, because nobody in RE had told us.
Yeah.
Our RE teacher taught us about Australian Aborigines and stuff like this. So because I knew the guy, actually, I was quite friendly with him. And he used to complain to me. He says, everybody tells me I'm black, but I'm not black. I'm an Indian. Because that was our only frame of reference. We just see Hollywood movies and we see black people and we think, oh, he's black.
It's all the same.
People think that he was an Aboriginal.
They thought he was a black man. They didn't. Honestly, it sounds so dumb to say. It sounds so dumb. But we didn't know what a Muslim was. We didn't know what a Hindu was.
How innocent
we just saw some guy with brown skin, and we were like, "Oh yeah, he's black. He's a black man." But he wasn't. He was an Indian.
I'll tell one of my dad's stories, because my dad's a boomer. He was born in the 50s, and he was a child when he saw his first black man, and he screamed.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I've heard that. Yeah.
I don't know. I can imagine that was quite a common. Screech didn't know what to make of this person. Must have thought it was some kind of demon or something.
Have you seen that clip online? I don't know if it was a Vine or something from back in the day, but it's just a funny clip that circulates now, where there's an old Chinese woman and a guy tries to scare her wearing a Halloween mask, and she doesn't flinch. And he takes off the Halloween mask, and it's a black guy, and she suddenly gets freaked out.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right. What else are we gonna? So, what are we gonna say about fucking? What's the other thing in the news? The Epping. This cunt.
Oh, yeah.
So, senior judge ruled the
it?
removal of the Epping migrant hotel is not appropriate. So, essentially, what happened is, it was the council. I actually looked it up. It was actually a Tory councillor who got the injunction. It's a civic case, right? It's my limited understanding of the law. It's not a crime. It's a civic case. So they asked for an injunction to get it banned. They got it passed. The Home Office complained, and it's gone to the. I looked it up. It's not the High Court, but it's the Court of Appeal. There are 3 judges, and they basically judged on the side of the Home Office, and so now the Epping Migrant Hotel will remain open. So we thought we'd won this one. We thought we'd had a great victory. We thought the hotel was closed, and people all around the world, all around the country, obviously continue to protest to shut down more of these migrant hotels. But it's a huge setback. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. The government hates us. There you go.
Just to mention on the Home Office, to go back to when Therian brought up the point about how it isn't a solution to only allow in what people call high-skilled migrants and such. The Home Office is a perfect example of why that's not a solution. Because in order to get into the Home Office, you have to, go to university and do all these different things. And all that's happening is that the place has now become filled with people who are not British, and so are not acting in Britain's interest, particularly on issues like this.
Yeah.
Because the reason Therian mentions this, because I spoke about it a lot in another particular Discord, and there was a lot of pushback there for some reason on this point.
Well,
but this is a perfect example.
How could you not want more immigrants? You got Mohammed Yusuf there. What?
I think that he may be the reason why they were so against what I was saying.
Well, I mean,
but the Home Office and this is a perfect example of exactly what I'm saying. These people arguably can cause more damage than just a random illegal immigrant.
Yeah, it's arguably harder to get rid of them, especially if they're middle class and they're not committing crimes. I mean, take the Hong Kongers. I don't know how many of them came over, but Chinese people are quite peaceful, aren't they? They probably work hard. They're probably many of them have stolen many people's middle class jobs. And it's like, we want to send them back to China, and it's like, but they work hard, they save money, they don't commit crimes. Do we really want to kick them out? I mean, I want to kick them out, but it's easier to kick out some low class Indian rickshaw wallah or some flipping African guy, because obviously they're a drain on society. But if it's a high IQ middle class fifth column, then
point to the GDP, the precious GDP they bring.
Yeah. When we get a lion into power, treason laws need to come into effect.
And we're seeing this issue make itself worse as well now, because the Home Office recently said that 50,000 Palestinians can be rolled into UK universities. And so that makes the issue even worse. You see,
I didn't know it's 50,000.
Yeah, it's some absolutely enormous figure, and obviously universities have only so many places, so that's 50,000 fewer native-born British people going to university.
I don't even know if we're going to last another 4 years. I got to be honest with you. Like,
things are getting angry, aren't they? Yeah.
We've made this point in the past. Well, me and Tharium have, to a certain individual. It's sort of like we don't have time for an ineffective politician. We just don't have time for it. It's got to be dealt with now. We really need a lion now.
Yeah.
Or you.
I mean, me and SJJ were talking about this when everyone was banging on about 0 seats and how we're going to get a Labour government in. And it's like, on one hand, the accelerationist Labour governments work because people have woken up. But on the other hand, we've got another 4 years of this shit. And there's nothing stopping them from stealing the election in 2029. They stole the election in 2020 in America. If you've got Muslims running every position of power in the country, but essentially Muslims and communists.
I think that the rich and powerful want reform in, though.
Yeah. I see them as
precisely because
on everything. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's this appeasement strategy. It's like they realize that people are angry here because things are getting worse, so they'll put in reform who won't actually solve any of the serious issues. They'll just do some token gestures, get rid of a few illegal migrants and things, and then they can call it a day. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think they'll try and steal it for Labour or something.
Yeah. You see, Reform just yesterday they suspended one of their councillors who he said he went to the Epping protest, very bad boy, and said that Islam was evil. For some reason, Mohammed Yusuf didn't like that.
Really? That surprises me.
Yeah. I think it is, though. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts at work, and I've listened to a recent podcast between Winston Marshall and an Egyptian Christian who wrote a book called Sword and Scimitar. I've just bought the book, actually. I'm going to read it. I'm reading something else at the moment. But anyway, very, very interesting podcast. But obviously, I've never been a fan of Islam, but he made the point that actually they do teach you to hate. It is a religion of hatred. You are supposed to hate the Christians. It is a religious necessity to hate the Christians. He even said that as a Muslim man, you can take a Christian wife, but you still have to hate her. You can use her as a sex toy, which is obviously what they do, but you hate her. So it is genuinely a religion of hatred. It is genuinely just a very, very dark and nasty religion.
Go on. I was going to say, with the women, you often see them. They will say to Western women, "Oh no, I don't. You don't have to convert for me or anything. That's fine." And then as soon as they're married, switch flips, and it's like, "No, you've got to convert to Islam now. You've got to start wearing the burqa. You've got to start wearing hijab and stuff." Yeah, very dishonest in how they do that.
It's love jihad. This is what they do in India. They're famous for it. The Muslims specifically target the Hindu girls. In order to conquer the country, essentially.
Well, the terrifying thing is I think a lot of people in this country think the way Islam is that I think it's the worst thing about Islam is in the past, or it's just done by the Taliban or ISIS or whoever. But it within modern history, Iran, Yemen, Sudan, these happened in the last 50 years. People. You think it's changed that much in the last 50 years?
Well, this guy, I can't remember the flipping guy's name. The book's in the other room. But anyway, this guy, he was making the point that one of the things that's happened in the 20th and 21st century is that there's been an improvement in literacy amongst Muslims, because a lot of them were illiterate. And this is one of the reasons why there's so much fundamentalism now.
They get worse, yeah.
Because they can actually read the Quran and the Hadiths.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff is very, very black and white in that, you know, the non-believer is your enemy and you have to conquer them and so on and so forth. So that's one of the reasons why there's so much fundamentalism. Because, I mean, Winston Marshall was raising the question of, you know, you've got moderate Muslims out there. And the guy was like, yeah, you do. But they're not, they may be moderate Muslims, but it's not because their version of Islam is moderate. The Islam is black and white. The Quran is black and white. The Hadiths are black and white. The only reason you get a moderate Muslim is because they're not really following the Quran or they're not really following the Hadiths. It's not like Christianity where you've got different versions and there's a lot of debate as to what should be done or what shouldn't be done. No, the Quran is black and white and the Hadiths are black and white. So it's a different thing. So if people actually read the Quran and they get into the religion and they get into the Hadiths and so on and so forth, they will become radicalized. There's no question about it.
When do these moderate Muslims ever sort of push back against anything?
There's only one I can think of, and that's you ever come across a YouTube channel, Candid with Luna, is it?
I don't know.
Check that one. Well, she started. She's a I think she's a Pakistani Muslim, and she started talking about, you know, sort of like we shouldn't behave like this, especially in someone else's country. And basically, she had to go into hiding and move house.
Of course she did.
Yeah, they're violent people. It's a mafia.
Yeah,
I mean, I just saw a story on the. It's funny, like so many stories that would have caused national outrage a couple of decades ago, but now it's just I can't even remember it. But there was a story. I think 3 Muslims had just been arrested. They caught They had the girls in the mosque. That's where they were keeping them. You know, and the girls tried to escape and they cut their toes off or something like crazy shit like this. I think in Leeds. I think the story was in Leeds. It's just breaking news. This shit is going on all the time. It's completely insane. It's insanely violent. These people are so fucking dangerous, and a lot of people don't seem to understand it.
Like I can get, like, there's the like the academic agent side of things that sort of looks beyond that and thinks, well, you know, they're not really controlling anything, and that is true. They are. I do view Islam as basically just a bioweapon unleashed upon us, but it's still there. It's still the problem that's punching us in the face. So you can't just completely ignore it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like they've got no time for sympathy for these people. Like we've had enough sympathy. Do you know what I mean? It's like when it comes to the Palestinian children. Okay, you just got to draw a line. At least I do anyway. I do not care about dead Palestinian children. Okay, I don't give a flying fuck. You can show me as many dead babies as you want. I don't care. I do not want to get involved in that war because I know the moment you say, "Oh, it's so sad. Oh, the poor Palestinians." The moment you say that, you've got 50,000 of them coming over here.
Yeah,
you
can see that's happening. Like there's the push of you can see, like Netanyahu's basically admitted it, that they're in talks with other countries to just send all the Palestinians to us. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we've already spoken on this stream about how they're all given university scholarships already.
Yeah. And do you think, of course, there's also all these a bunch of nations all at the same time started talking about recognizing Palestine as a state, and I think the idea that that's probably just all done to make it easier to import them is probably bang on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, we had this argument all last year, didn't we? Me, you, and SJJ with Daft Nick, the Daft Nick segment. Remember that?
Yeah.
My old friend Unwashed, right? He gets involved with the Free Palestine movement because he feels sorry for the dead children. Next thing you know, he's wearing that fancy Palestinian scarf, and he's calling me a Zionist. Yeah. You know, he's calling Lana Loktev and Red Ice Radio is calling them Zionists because they're not on the side of Palestine. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Like when are you going to convert to Islam? Like what are you doing? You know, it's just got brainwashed and sucked into it. You got to just stay completely away from that argument, from that debate. These people are not our friends.
You mentioned Callum's trip to Scotland earlier. You see, even in the sodding Orkney Islands, they've got the Palestine crap.
Yeah.
you couldn't be further removed. But no, it's still there.
Yeah, and people wonder why Raise the Colours is a thing. It's because you can't escape this crap. It's sort of like, what else can you do, really?
Yeah.
But to go back to what we said at the start, this is why I have my hesitation over Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
It's too Zionist. Well, I can kind of sympathise with this point to a degree. I get what people are saying. I mean, my ultimate stance is I don't want anything to like. Every time we talk about Palestine and Israel, oh God, not again! Why are we talking about this? It doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So maybe we should stop all comparisons. And like England's a bit like Israel. England's a bit like Palestine. It's like, well, no, it's not. England's like England. I refuse any comparison to that area of the world. How about that?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. It's they're just desert people. Leave them to it. Like they wanted us gone, right? They wanted us gone. They made that quite clear. We had the mandate of Palestine. They said no, and so okay.
Well, this was the thing I found funny the other month when they had the it was the Independence Days for both India and Pakistan.
Oh.
They just, the footage I saw was all of the roads closed down and the streets full to celebrate this, and I thought there was a bit of irony there, you know.
Yeah.
And coming over to the UK after gaining independence,
mm-hmm.
and then celebrating their independence.
What was the point then? if you're so happy with us, but no, it's just conquest.
Yeah, it just again, people wonder why Raise the Colours is a thing.
And I feel like we are pushing the needle on things and people are still behind, but we are pulling them. I mean, even like reforms having to sort of try and bump up their containment level.
Well, this is why I'm not so critical about people pushing far, particularly on the dissident right. It's because it acts as a vanguard. You don't have to agree with them. The point is they're trying to push the Overton window to the right.
Yeah.
This has been mine and Tharium's point for such a long time. Like we shouldn't be trying to stray for the left, trying to engage with quote unquote normies.
Yes. This is exactly how Labour used to work, right? In that they were not an electable party for a long, long time. Their whole point was to just push so far left that the Conservatives naturally occupy the slightly more moderate left ground, and the whole Overton window shifts that way.
Yeah.
We ought to be pushing back as far in the other direction as we can. So
yeah, I mean, like Reform say they think elections are won from the centre. It's not.
Well,
really.
The centre for Labour, right? And this and the reason for that is you're talking about working class people. Working class people are still socially right wing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Generally, it's the most far right party that wins, within reason.
The Conservatives tried to make the same mistake, of course.
Yeah.
And this is what really kind of set the alarms off for me with Reform. Is they seem to just be taking the Conservative playbook.
Yeah.
But the issue is that they all try to copy Blair, but it doesn't work because the button that Blair presses has his fingerprint on it. It only works for him.
Yeah.
And the reason it only works for him is because he's shifting from the left to the centre as opposed to from the right to the centre. And the general populace are further to the right than the options that they're given.
I think also they don't have the knowledge. If they knew the actual scale of things, it would be so much worse. Because I think they think they think the average thinks that immigration is about 70,000 a year, not 1.2 million. So they are so far out, and they also think it's mostly all illegal. Like once they figure out that there are these like scumbags milling around in their town centers, no, they're actually here legally.
To settle for good law. Sorry.
They're here legally.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, they're here legally.
It's the average 12-year-old girl in her experience.
Yeah,
I don't know if I should. I'll probably get a copy strike with it. I'll take it off quick.
Yeah, careful. But yeah, to go back to what we were saying, I do think that this is the one potential white pill, is that as things get worse, a lot more people will wake up to these facts. We've spoken about the issue with the middle class before, and I say this as someone who is middle class, so it's something I'm qualified to speak about. A lot of people are comfortable.
Sorry, no, go on. I just wanted it in the background, but I couldn't. Go on.
Because the middle class are so materially comfortable, they're just turning a blind eye to a lot of the major issues that there are, because it doesn't affect them yet. But as they start to lose places in expensive private schools, and as their standard of living continues to decrease, they will be woken up to a lot of these issues.
Yeah. So I was thinking that because, like, yeah, there are a lot of people waking up. I mean, we've got Baz on our side, but I do wonder about, some of the middle classes and upper classes. We've got a few rebels, but
currently the middle class is being squeezed, and that forces, and so the middle class is getting smaller. As it gets smaller, it means that people will become more reactive and will be like, oh wow, we're at real risk of losing everything here, and that's when you get them on side.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I think especially with the middle classes, they're kind of towing the old line to keep hold of their job, should we say?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's once you have something, your only desire is to keep it.
Yeah,
and so as you say, like in the workplace, a lot of it is, and I am the same. I'm sure all of you are the same, because we want to keep our jobs. It's like you just keep your head down and just agree with. Like if they come in with diversity training, you don't complain about it, you just do it, sort of thing, But as things get worse, I think people are going to get squeezed, and particularly with the material side of things, and also the schools. I think that as there are fewer and fewer private school places available to just white middle class people, then they will start to realize how bad things are.
It's getting so. But I know a few public schools, and it's just put it this way, it's surprising. It shouldn't be surprising to me, because it still is.
There was that school just the other day. A school was told off for having too many white students.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And it's these issues that wake up the middle class.
Yeah, when you rub it in their faces, really rub it in their faces. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, I always feel like the middle classes and upper classes, I think about all the affluent areas, and it's still there's not a lot of diversity there yet.
Yeah,
it's coming though.
I feel like I think a lot of them are also, they're primed. Like with the right words at the right time, you could get them to switch. Like the Lib Dem stuff about headphone dodgers. Like just get them if you could just, I don't know, figure out the way to get them to start noticing who are.
Well, I've been saying for a long time that. Well, I was saying this before I went off Reform. I was saying Reform need to be pushing the NIMBY narrative.
Yeah,
because this is the whole thing with the Lib Dems. Is like their whole thing is this NIMBY sort of, you can have your pocket and we'll protect you from everything else. And if a right wing movement embraces that, and it fits naturally, right? Suddenly you get a lot more middle class people on your side.
Well, I've been thinking lately that Baz is on our side, but what we need to do with Baz is kind of focus his energy, because they can. Unfortunately, the working class can put off some of the upper classes. You just think about chav culture and all of that, and take some of the race and the colours. Like, fine, raise the flag because it's harder, but please don't graffiti randomly.
Yeah. It's like Wellington said about how our army is made up of the scum of the earth, but look at what fine fellows we've turned them into. That's what we've got to do again, really.
But basically, we need to take Baz and sort of like, guys, you can't do this though.
Yeah,
I know it seems like, but trying to, if you're doing the race of colours to, sort of get hearts and minds on board, this is the play. Basically, they need a rule book.
Baz needs some officers, some high class officers.
Yeah,
ordering in Rio Esca, and that just works so well.
I don't really mind the graffiti, to be honest with you.
It's like we were.
They did it. They did it in Northern Ireland.
It's like we were saying earlier on about Pareto and about how the whole thing with Lions is it is the alliance between the working man and the aristocrat. That's what it is.
I think there's really nowhere left for them to run. I mean, I live in a very white part of the country, and the Indians are here now. Mm-hmm. All of the petrol stations in my local area are now run by Indians. They weren't 5 years ago.
They're everywhere, though. Bruce. You can go into the deepest, darkest sticks, find a petrol station, and they're there, and you're like, "What are you doing here?"
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, there was a time when the Indians and so on and so forth, they knew they should stay in the cities, but they're not in the cities. There's no more white flight. There's nowhere to run. We are a small country. The white middle classes cannot escape the diversity anymore.
That's why things are kicking off, really.
That's why things are kicking off. Yeah, I mean, as long as they could escape it, as long as it was just some poor, white working class man's problem in Rotherham, the middle classes were content to call them racist. But now it's in their backyard, they can't escape it.
Well, it's clear to me the globalists didn't read Sun Tzu. You need your enemy to have a place to retreat to, and they haven't.
No.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, the Epping lot in Essex, plenty of those lot are from London, who are driven out by the diversity, and now look, it's here again. So of course they're going to. They're so no wonder they're so angry.
Well, this is why Sun Tzu sort of says you need to let your enemy to retreat somewhere, and you should just leave them be and just protect, make a barrier around them, because if you keep going after them, you've made them a cornered animal.
Like the Americans, like we mentioned earlier, they keep attacking us. When have they ever done anything like to push back against diversity in their country? They don't. Because they've got more space, so they just pack up the U-Haul and move.
Yeah. Find a bit of land that's unclaimed, and but they have that. What do they call it? The homesteading culture as well. Like they can, I talked about hermit culture. They can literally do that in America.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Montana.
Well,
somewhere.
It's funny because they can't really, because they still have the state coming after you for property taxes.
Well.
Which I just think is like
that kind of touches on what I meant last week with the whole you can't be a hermit thing, because you'll always be on someone else's land, and the government was going to push to get them taxes off you somehow.
It's mad. Like in America you can be a bit of land not connected to anything, miles away from everything, no roads, no electricity, no sewers, but they will still go taxes, and if you don't pay, then they will just take it off you.
Yeah, we actually kind of in a way have a political advantage over America because we are smaller. So there's less room to run. We're more compacted, so it's easier to just get in the car and drive somewhere and talk to somebody. So it's easier to start an alternative party or some kind of alternative organization. Whereas if you were to try to start that in America, you'd have to get on a plane and you have to fly somewhere and stay in a hotel, and it's just turns into a big hassle. But because we're quite condensely packed here, it's better for us in a way.
There's also the deeper thing that we mentioned earlier, which is that, like, in order to justify the kind of nation of immigrants narrative and diversity is our strength and all that, they have to lie, and people know it's a lie. Which it's harder to push it here because of that. Like, people are always going to, in the back of their minds, know that it's not true, whereas the same can't be said for America.
Yeah, they're pushing all this nonsense like King Arthur was black, and they had a black soldier. Didn't they do a movie recently? They had a black soldier fighting Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, there's a 1066 series with a bunch of black Normans and Saxons.
Yeah,
yes, it's on at the moment, isn't it?
Oh my god,
it's like,
yeah, it's so retarded. I mean, the sad thing is, young people might actually believe it. That is the really sad thing. I mean, and it just shows you their plan. They want to erase us from history completely. I mean, if they win this fight, then all of history will. It's like a criminal. Like a criminal breaks into someone's house, they steal this, they do what they cover their tracks. This is what these people are thinking, and this is what they will do. If they ever actually do win this fight, they'll just erase white history altogether. They'll just pretend that we were always diverse, and they'll just delete the photos. They'll burn them. They'll burn the pictures. They'll burn everything. It's horrific if you think about it, but that is what they will do because they don't care.
Do you know Bjorn Bull Hansen? He's a Norwegian author. He sort of writes historical Viking stories, and he put out a video yesterday, and he was saying how he was approached by an agent for some wealthy Muslims from like Qatar or Saudi Arabia or something, and they wanted to make a Viking TV show based on his books, but the requirement was he had to make the Vikings very Muslim, add a lot of Islam into the Vikings, pretend they were Muslims, and apparently the goal was to make European people more think more positively of Islam.
I wouldn't be surprised if that came from US aid.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is the Vikings actually did have a connection with Islam, because the Vikings used to raid and collect slaves, and then they would sell them to the Muslims.
Yeah.
That was one of the key sources of their wealth. In fact, people have dug up Viking treasure chests, and they're full of gold coins from the Ottoman Empire, and so on and so forth.
But they're trying to push the idea that means that they were themselves Muslims.
I understand. I'm just saying that, like, the whole based Viking thing is a bit of a meme. I mean, they were kind of race traitors. If you think about it, they would basically kidnap white English girls and then sell them to the Ottomans. That's what they would do. That's how they.
Well, it would have been the Abbasids probably, or Umayyads, depending on what time.
Yeah,
I do remember one episode of QI talking about the Vikings, because they've got Sandy Toksvig as on the helm now, and they're basically pointing about it like, well, that Vikings weren't as violent as people think, and what the reason British women went with Vikings is because they were really clean.
I think he's stretching it a bit there.
After all that time on the boats coming across the North Sea.
I mean, it's on QI, guys. How can you question QI?
It is funny when people try to clean up Viking history and pretend like, oh, they weren't really evil pagan marauders or whatever. No, they were literally pirates.
Bunch of rapists.
That's what they were.
Yeah, pirates and rapists.
That's what they were. Like, don't deny it. Just like you don't see the Mongolians try to deny Genghis Khan's atrocities. Like, just own it. That's what they were.
He's just like, yeah, we were awesome.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan is weird because he is the only thing to have ever come out of Mongolia.
Yes.
Like, it has been.
And they love him for it.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It's like they are the last people you would expect also to have like the second largest empire in history.
Yeah, it was a bit like that with Islam as well, and the initial caliphates. In that, like, the whole reason that the Romans and the Persians were completely caught by surprise when they suddenly, because it was just a desert, there was no one there, and then suddenly out of it springs this caliphate that conquers all of North Africa and the Middle East.
Like Mongolia,
it's nomadic people. Nomadic people are just dangerous. That's full stop.
Yes,
like Mongolia was just like a few small little family groups roaming around, fighting each other and stealing each other's women. Yeah. And then Genghis Khan comes along.
Hard living. It's the hard living. It's like I mentioned earlier about the eating the squirrels in the mountains. It's that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. What's his name? what if Alt His did a great video about it. He called the Asian steppe, he called it the anti-civilization, which I thought was fantastic. It's just like just like a literal Conan the Barbarian realm of men on horses killing each other. And then invading civilizations and then destroying them and then just going back to their nomadic lifestyle.
You've all given you've all given me a crazy idea though. How about we weaponize the gypsies?
Oh, wow. Yeah. But yeah, there's a point. The nomadic lifestyle. I mean, really, it does turn you into a warrior, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is the whole thing with cyclical theory. They speak a lot about this, and one of the trends is that they will come out of these steppes and conquer, and then they will settle, and then when they settle, they then themselves get conquered by new steppe tribes, and it kind of goes on like that. Because you think about how many of them came out of there. I mean, the Yamnaya, if you want to go back to the Indo-Europeans, you've got the Hun, the Parthians, the Turks. We've spoken about the Arabs, the Mongolians, of course. There are so many of them.
There's a bunch of...
This is what... No, I have to make this point. This is why young men should travel, okay? And the Japanese used to do this. A man would reach a certain age, the samurai, they'd say, right, go off and travel, have an adventure. Yeah. Young men need to leave home. They need to go backpacking. They need to go to some third world country and teach English or do whatever it is they got to do. They should go out into the world and have some form of adventure in order to toughen them up, so they're not afraid of the world. It's very, very good, and it's very, very healthy for them.
It's in the Bible, that is, as well.
Yeah, it's in almost every culture. There's some sort of element of that, and it. Generally, if you see a trend like that in almost every culture, even ones that are unrelated, it probably means that there's something true there, that there's something about the human condition there.
Even for the middle classes, they call it the gap year, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you gotta just go out and get out there and just go and live in a foreign country and just experience something, which just get out of your comfort. I don't know. I just feeling about it. I know a young guy, and I'm just seeing this guy, and he's like 20 years old, and he's like working in some shop, and I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're like 22.
The problem we have is that there are fewer and fewer places to go now that are still wild. You know, everywhere. You can go anywhere on the planet, and you'll see tourists. You know,
I mean, women need to be a lot more careful still.
Yes,
in a lot of places.
Well, women should stay at home, obviously.
Yeah.
But men should go out and have an adventure if you're in your 20s.
Work on the bleaching of Africa, right?
I'm just saying for personal, because I'm in my 40s now, and it's like, I don't know, like, I mean, I just live a normal, like, working class life. But I mean, if you talk to people and like, I can say, oh, I lived in Brazil for a while, and I lived in India, and people are like, oh wow, you went out and did that and did this, and it's just like a little feather in your cap, you know. And it's like, yeah, you can think, oh yeah, I actually did something with my youth. I wouldn't go and do it now because I'm too old, and it's just like, fuck that, I can't be bothered. But you really, really should, when you're young, in your 20s, go out and experience some of the world before you end up settling down and getting absorbed by materialism and buying a car and buying a TV and buying all this junk and getting tied down.
I'm all for that. You know, I wouldn't have minded going to Brazil and meeting some nice Brazilian women, Italian women.
Have you got blue eyes? Have you got blue eyes? Are your eyes blue?
Just about. They're grey with specks of blue in.
All right. Well, you'll probably be in there then, because they love the blue eyes. They'll be all over you.
And
they're quite popular in Argentina as well.
Yeah.
I won't say anything against Argentinian women as well. I mean,
I love how they've got the culture of actually trying to breed out the dark in their
face.
Well, it's like that in Asia as well. I couldn't believe it when I went to Singapore. There's no one on the beaches if you go to like Sentosa Island or something, because none of them want to get a tan.
Yeah.
Because white is the beauty standard over there.
Well, this is the thing. I had a Brazilian girlfriend, and she was a half caste or something. They're all half caste in Brazil.
Yeah.
And the thing about living in Rio de Janeiro is like everybody at the weekend, they go to the beach, right? That's just what they do. That's the culture. You go to the beach, you sit on the beach, you have an acai, you blah, blah, blah. My girlfriend never wanted to go to the beach. And I'm just thinking, like, what the? I've got like the only girlfriend in the whole of Brazil that doesn't want to go to the beach at the weekend. And I just didn't understand it until it finally clicked, because she was at university, because she's half caste. If she went to the beach, she'd get a really deep tan.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be as white.
Do you know where the tanning culture actually came from? Because before, being like pale China skinned was quite. I think it's still attractive. Have you ever seen a pale China faced woman?
Yeah, that's my thing. Oh, especially like a porcelain skin redhead. Oh,
yeah. They're stunning. I don't know why they'd want to tan, because they're absolutely stunning.
I know, right?
They're angelic.
Yeah,
and I'm not just saying they just are.
It's in the Kama Sutra. Actually, in the Kama Sutra, they say a pale woman is beautiful.
Probably some USA psyop or something.
I mean, I don't want to come off as some kind of sort of mid-century German, but they just are.
Yeah.
And it was like that for because you think about Snow White, pale skin. That was. Do you know when it changed? When Coco Chanel was in Cannes and got sunburnt.
Right.
And obviously she tanned, and that's when fashions changed. The urban myth.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's when it's all started, when Coco Chanel got a sunburn.
I think it is more likely.
If you think about it, the aristocracy wasn't out there working on the fields as well.
That's why, pale was the beauty standard for a long, long time.
That's why. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole suntan thing, as far as I understand, it goes back to the Volkisch movement in Germany, and because they would sunbathe. That's where it comes from. I mean, this is the hilarious thing. Like a lot of 60s hippie culture comes from the Nature Boy movement, and the Nature Boy movement originally comes from the Volkisch movement, which is tied into the Nazis, which is absolutely hilarious. But sunbathing was considered to be, like a spiritual thing. Essentially, like you bathe in the sun, you let the sun's rays energize you.
Yeah, I don't really tan. I just burn. So give me clouds. Oh, lovely clouds.
Yeah. It does seem like sunbathing has gone out of fashion, though. It used to be a big thing, but now everybody gets scared of getting skin cancer, so they just don't really do it anymore.
I mean, there's that. And also, have you ever been to a beach recently?
No, it's so blackpilling, isn't it?
What's wrong with the beaches?
Literally,
there are like 2 million people on every beach that you go to now,
and they're not English people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to every. I mean, like there's a place in Derbyshire, Dovedale, called the Stepping Stones. You know that Jet 2 meme. And you imagine the kind of people going there now that are not English, let's put it that way. And you've got that Jet 2 thing going on as the camera pans around, and there's hundreds of people in the Derbyshire countryside not English, and you can't even see anyone who looks vaguely English. So, and I remember going there as a kid, visiting there, and it's obviously. Peak District, it's an area of outstanding natural beauty. So, I miss going there. I wouldn't dare go there.
When I went to the peaks and the lakes, I don't remember seeing a single diversity. That was a while ago, though.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you'll see one now.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what. That's the thing. I mean, like I travelled to Wales not too long ago, and let's put it this way. It was off the A roads, and you travel half an hour through single track weird roads. You get to a little hamlet, and you'd still see diversity, and you'd think, are they sure that the ONS statistics are true? Because I tell you, they're lying to us. I refuse to believe. Either the same diversity is following me around everywhere and I can't tell the difference, or the ONS statistics are wrong.
Well, they say there's about 80 million people in the country.
Yeah,
according to the supermarket.
I think it's way higher than that.
I think it is.
Could be.
Well, according to the supermarkets, I mean, what's the official supposed to be? 70?
70, yeah, around 70.
Yeah, the supermarkets think it's 80.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like reform saying like Nigel always got to check everything with Yusuf, and he's like at his conference he's going do you think we could deport 600,000 people? It's like, yes, I think there are north of 600,000 illegal immigrants. Just 600. Yeah.
Does he actually check? I didn't watch the conference. Does he actually say that to Zia?
Yeah.
Oh man, really? He actually turns around. Oh man.
Zia's there with him through the whole thing. Like, it's like, why are you there? I thought you're just supposed to be head of Doge, but no.
Oh, he runs the place.
Yeah, obviously, it's not Nigel's party. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, got check with Zia about everything, hasn't he? You know,
why can't? Sorry to bring this, but why isn't? I know we covered this before. Why isn't Rupert starting a party? Why isn't he doing it? He's got 2 MPs. He's got what's the other one called?
James McMurdo.
Yeah.
Essentially, what Rupert's trying to do, he's trying to get momentum for the right, isn't he? You know, Labour has momentum in it. The pressure group.
Yeah, and I think it does make sense just on the basis that even if he made a party, I don't think that they'd get in. Like it's clear that Reform are going to win the next election, regardless of whether Lowe makes a new party. And a lot of it is because just the average person doesn't realize how bad Reform are. They just see all of the media headlines and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, what he's trying to do, because he's realised, because think about the last election, and there's this sort of like, you're going to split the Tory vote, you're going to split the Tory vote. It's you think what you want of it, but it's kind of true. I think what Rupert's trying to do, no matter what party gets in, whether it be Labour, whether it be the Corbyn party, wherever it's going to be, that Restore are going to be that pressure group, trying to, you know, I mean. It does help that Rupert Lowe is an MP himself. I assume he's going to keep his seat next.
I hope so. It'd be a disaster if he lost it.
Well, I think his constituency absolutely love him. So you know, so it's very likely he'll keep his seat. I think, as I understand it, they absolutely adore him. You know, so hopefully he does. But I do think Restore could do with a few more MPs.
Yeah.
Whether they represent an actual different party and kind of signed up to Restore, though. And that's basically what it is. I mean, like, Rupert said he doesn't care if they're from Labour, Corbyn's party, the Green Party. You either sign up to what Restore's policies, or you don't, and try and push them from within your own party. I mean, I don't know how that'll work on Labour, Corbyn, and the Green Party, for example, but...
What do you think about my internet girlfriend, Kezia Noble? Apart from the fact she's got massive knockers, but she actually said she wanted to start a party called Deport. I could scroll all the way down and find it.
She's
got my vote then.
She literally.
I can see 2 reasons on the screen.
No, honestly, I think I wrote this to you, didn't I, Tharim? I think I sent you a message because I got really, really excited about it because she said it. She said, "Oh, I want to start a Deport party." She said, "I just want to start a Deport party. It's called Deport. Does what it says in the tin. That's it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll vote for it." And then she liked it, and I said, "Fuck yeah, I'll vote for it." And I put at Rupert Lowe. And she liked it. And then she sent another message saying that Rupert Lowe had contacted her and they'd spoken about it. And I was just like, fucking, let's go. Let's fucking do it. But nothing's happened. Yeah.
I mean, there could be stuff working behind the scenes. But like I mentioned to you,
I'd fucking vote for her. She's 40-something years old. She's got nice titties. She spent her whole life teaching seduction. She knows how to deal with men. She knows what men are like. Right? Yeah. She may not be that intelligent, but she could be like Bodicea. I mean, she could just be the woman saying, like, guys, you've got to defend our ladies. You've got to vote for us. We've got to deport the illegal immigrants. And everyone just be like, yeah, all right then. I'd fucking vote for her.
It's like I said, said to you, as far as single issues go, deporting people is the one that I think would just solve every single problem in the country almost.
We've been through it last week as well.
It would solve a lot of them. It wouldn't solve all of them.
No.
There's still the issue that no one ever discusses, that which is our position on the world stage and how it is diminishing, and particularly at a crucial point where America are losing their hegemony, and it seems like China will probably be the next ones.
Yeah.
That is an ongoing issue that will affect us all, just that no one is talking about. Really, what we need is a timeout, I think, to rebuild ourselves, because I'm particularly worried about the government dragging us into World War III or something if Taiwan gets invaded. Because we seem to follow America into every war they get into.
Sorry, Jack, I wasn't listening. You were saying something.
What we need is Kezia Noble. That's what we need. That's what this country needs. For some reason, none of the men have got any fucking balls.
So you know how
we've got a 45-year-old pickup artist saying she wants to start the deport party, and I don't know, it's not happening for some reason. I don't know, but I think it should.
So you know how since 1688, 1689, the monarchy has essentially just been a figurehead.
Yeah.
I feel like this would make a much greater figurehead in front of us.
Exactly.
She should be the regent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a funny idea, but I just think it's very interesting because obviously she's a very, very feminine woman. You know, she spent her whole life teaching seduction and this and that, and so she's a very girly with her makeup and her eyes and all the rest of it. And it's like now she's like, actually, do you know what? Can we just kick all these weird men out of the country because I don't like it? Do you know what I mean?
Brutus, you do surprise me. Early on in the stream, no vote for women, and now all of a sudden we've got a figurehead.
Well, no, we use her. We use her to kick all the foreigners out, right? Because none of the men have got any balls to do it for some reason. And then, actually, do you know what? I reckon if we had a conversation with her, she'd probably say, "Yeah, women shouldn't vote."
Well, she doesn't have. She can just be the leader. She doesn't need to vote.
Yeah,
So
whatever.
it
I mean,
works.
this is what I'm saying. A genuinely feminine woman understands the difference between men and women. She, if you had a conversation with her, she'd probably understand. Yeah, women are too soft in the head. They shouldn't, and too emotional, and they shouldn't be voting. She'd probably get it. But it's just like we're getting to the stage where literal seduction pickup artists are just saying, "Fuck this shit. Can we get the fucking foreigners out of our country, please?"
Yeah.
Ruin seduction for us.
Yeah. I don't know. I've liked and I've subscribed, and every comment she makes, I'm like, start the deport party. Do it, please. Do it,
and then bring the advance and deport party. Advance deport party.
What do you think about Ben Habib then? Because my initial reaction to him was just like Habib. His name's Habib.
Yeah.
He's got brown skin, so like I don't. But apparently. He is a Christian, and apparently, like his mother was white, but he is mixed race, and so I don't know, man. Like I'm open. Like if that's what we have to do, then maybe that's what we got to do. I don't know.
I think
Ben Habib.
Well, you know, the whole advance party, like, because nobody else seems to like.
I don't think a political party is a way out of this.
What do you want then?
I don't know. I don't know if there. I mean, I know, like particularly Tharium likes to go. You know, so long as there's one of us left, there's always hope, sort of thing. Yeah. I'm much more doomerish. I'm afraid. I don't know if there is a solution to this problem. I think that probably the only way out I can genuinely see, and this is based on looking at the fall of other civilizations, and how they don't seem to save themselves. The only possible way I could see us getting out of this is if things just continue to get worse and worse and worse, and eventually some Caesar-like figure emerges from the ashes. But things are nowhere near bad enough for that yet.
Yeah.
Well, the Roman Empire did bounce back several times.
Yeah, the Romans had an uncanny ability to keep bouncing back, but they were a much more kind of down-to-earth people. I mean, the guys who kept saving the Roman Empire were were those men of the mountains who eat the squirrels. During the 3rd century crisis, it was the Illyrian emperors who were fighting in the Danube legions. We don't have that at the moment.
So very much our lion will not show himself until the ashes are very much inset.
We have the actual Welsh Taliban, you mean? Yeah, that actually becomes a thing,
yeah. Things have to get a lot worse before they can get better, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is really doom rich. It's not what anyone wants to hear, but
no,
it's just how I honestly feel about it.
I mean, I sort of
things are already as bad as they could possibly be. I don't think how they could get.
Oh no, things can get worse. Believe me.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But I mean, like I put it this way. I was talking to my 70-something-year-old mother the other day, and I said Islam is conquering the country, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." Even she fucking gets it. And 10 years ago, she was calling me a white supremacist. Even the fucking grannies get it now.
I mean, to kind of give a good example of how things can get worse, they aren't even mask off yet.
They're getting there.
They're getting there. But it will get to a point when they're, if they get to a point where they're the majority, when they can then mask off, and then that's that.
I mean, the way I sort of view it, I'm quite consigned to things will get bad. But I'm consigned to that. It's like, okay, then, but once they do, the one upside is that we win. So,
yeah, well, isn't this basically? I've always thought like people like the basket weavers isn't basically part of the premise of the basket weavers, so we can weather this storm because we need to, this is grassroots to talk to each other.
This is my thing. This is my whole thing. Is that my only focus right now is to just kind of protect my local area as much as I can.
Yeah.
If that means protesting any plans for construction or just whatever it is, to just try and isolate this pocket and try and weather out the storm. And I think that's what people need to do.
I mean, I think that across the whole country.
Yeah. This is why I say NIMBYism needs to be embraced by the right completely, and all YIMBYs need to be cast out and deported. That will be a solution, because it's like the equivalent of a strike essentially at that point.
Mm-hmm. I saw a pub with the England flag on it the other day, and I was thinking that's the kind of pub that you need to show your face. If they're showing the England flag, you need to go in that pub.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I was talking about this last. That was my entire theory was flipping. What was I banging on about? Woden Wednesday, but spiritual alcoholism. Like we need to literally go into the pub, pour a pint, and that's like your worship to Woden. Look at it not as a beer, but look at it as like I don't know.
It's like Shaun of the Dead.
Go to
the pub and just let the whole thing blow over.
Yeah. No. Look at it as like Woden's mystical, visionary potency, and you drink it down, and you can understand what's going on in the world. But I think like obviously the church has failed, and the pub really, really does need to be our rallying point, because it is the Hall of Woden in a way. In the old Saxon halls, men would get together and they would drink, and it's also just a place where obviously if you have a few beers, all of your social prohibitions just disappear, and you say what you think. And this is obviously the Germanic Saxon ways. Like you say, you have a few drinks and you say, well, this is what I think about this, and blah blah blah, and it all comes out, right? So you can say theoretically, at least, you can say all kinds of politically incorrect things in the pubs, and I just think the whole country would be a better place if we all just went back to the pub.
I've been thinking about this deeply because I feel like there is a concerted effort to destroy the pub. I mean,
100%.
There was a pub by mine recently where a fight broke out, and it made the local news. And it's been closed down. And you read the councillors' names, and they're all Muslim names.
Yeah.
So, right. and this comes back to my point. It's sort of like Baz is on side, but Baz needs to, sort of be more gentlemanly. I guess there does need to be an officer class of the Bazes, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think, I think there needs to be a little bit more. What's the word I want to use?
Needs to be civilized a bit. Have some discipline.
Yeah. Disciplined. More. I don't want to say like military, but discipline. Needs to be more discipline with them. Because if you use if the badges are let loose without any discipline and without any sort of orders, or
Mm-hmm.
they're not all on the same page. That's what. But I mean, I know you guys' opposition to Tommy Robinson is the whole Israel thing, which is fair enough. But most people don't like Tommy Robinson because he's a Baz character.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Baz character, it'll always be associated with a Tommy Robinson type character. And there does need to be discipline within those ranks. And I'm sorry, Baz, if you're watching, but you do need discipline within your ranks.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just graffiti the St. George's Cross on anything white because it's patriotic. You're not winning hearts and minds by doing that.
You win my heart and mind.
On the whole race, the colours theme.
Doesn't bother me. Gotta be honest with you.
No, it doesn't bother you, but
maybe the middle classes are just chill the fuck out. Like it's your. You can either have the rainbow flag, the Palestine flag, or the English flag. That's your fucking choice. Stop being so fucking stuck up. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't know. I'm just. I understand what you're saying. You want Baz to calm down, but I understand. Like you got people saying like the whole academic agent. You need to learn to wear a suit, and it's like okay. All right, but
famously does not know how to wear a suit. Whenever he's wearing one on video, it's always so oversized.
Yeah, but in a way, you're just shitting in the face of the working classes because they don't dress like that, they don't look like that, they don't talk like that, and yet they're English.
Well, you got to think what are some of the worst English cultures, and you can name them: chav, working class; Dino, upper working class. Towny, you know, all the worst Englishnesses, unfortunately, are perceived to come from the working class. There's very few middle class chavs that do exist. I've seen them, but there are very few of them. And that's what I'm trying to say. Sort of like that presentation sort of thing. And I've got nothing against the Baz in that way, but I just think in the schoolyard, the middle class kid was always a picked on one. The sort of the will from the in-betweeners.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the most important thing that you're trying to say is that the middle class make up a significant part of the country, and they can't just be stepped over or dismissed.
Yeah,
and
if we want,
have us still win.
If we want,
they need to be on side.
Yeah, if we want to radicalize them, we need, some civility in Baz. Baz needs to be ordered.
Well, I mean, if you're all in agreement, I guess so. But I mean, I personally can't.
Baz is good.
Oh, here it is. I found the quote at last. I'm going to start a new political party. It's going to be called the Deport Party. No other policies, because this one policy will sort out 90% of the problems we face. Does what it says on the tin. Bang! I will follow you, Kezia Noble. I'm here. I raise my sword.
You have my sword.
I fucking do raise my sword for sure. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like cut through the bullshit. Can we just have a fucking deportation party and sort this thing out?
You know, you could have just done search for deport, but you just wanted to look through the pictures, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
But
half air, isn't there?
She started her career. She started her career in the Lad Mags, and I remember the Lad Mags. That was peak 90s. Loaded, Zoo. We used to have magazines in our country that had beautiful women in it, and they were for men, and it was all about beer and sports cars and fighting and sex, and it was fucking great. And it's all gone now. It's just a bunch of effeminate gay shite. Even if you go on oh man, I forget, like GQ or any of these, like they'll have like a little section. Oh, your mental health. Your little mental health section. Oh, are you feeling depressed? Yeah, I'm feeling fucking depressed because you keep asking me if I'm depressed. Stop asking me these questions. Stop gaslighting me into psychopathic depression, please. Stop asking me 120 times if I'm mentally ill, so I start thinking that I'm mentally ill. Can you stop it with this bullshit? It's just, we need the lad mags back. She understands it. She gets it. She's a girl from the 90s, and she wants to kick the fucking
well, you know what finished the lad, out. You know what finished the lads mags off? It was porn. Going back to this porn to finish the lads mag, because it was acceptable to buy a copy of FHM. It wasn't acceptable to buy a copy of Razzle, was it?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, I mean, the ugly feminist Karens really finished off that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
Like the Bridge Girls and things.
Attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, she gets it. If you want to go back to the 90s, Kezia Noble, she's not a snob like Farage. She doesn't worry about chavs. Do you know what I mean? She probably likes them. You know?
I'm probably subbed to a channel. I think I subbed to her years and years ago, and she's basically a female pickup artist.
Yeah, that's what she is. Old school pickup artist. 40-something years old. Fucking had enough of this shit. So anyway, I've got great hopes for her. I don't know why she's not on Lotus Eaters yet, but anyway, there you go. What are you sharing with me?
So you know what you were saying, Mercian, about how wherever you go,
remove this.
Wherever you go, you can't escape them. You see this picture,
right? Yeah.
Where do you think this is?
Oh God, I don't know.
It's Svalbard.
Oh, the island.
The island
of Norway.
Of Norway, the most northerly settlement in the world. This is one of their bars, like in this one tiny little place. You're in Svalbard, and you can't escape it.
There you go.
I went to Dartmoor on bank holiday, had a walk around, and it was pretty white. I got to tell you.
I found out about this Svalbard very recently, precisely because I was looking at places that I could possibly go.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I looked into it, and I found a YouTube video on it, like just to see what it was like. Scroll down the first comment, and it was an Indian nationalist saying, "Guys, this is visa free."
Oh God!
It's like, okay.
I had
thought, I won't be going.
I had thought about maybe going for like just getting a mining job there for a year or something, make a load of money on that. But then they banned all the mining there, so it's like, oh, never mind.
Have you guys seen videos of skiing? I saw a video a while ago on Twitter that really just, I've never actually been skiing. But I always had a fantasy that I'd win the lottery or something, become rich, and then just go skiing in the Alps and just be all like posh and, you know, hang out with all those people. But apparently skiing has fallen because black people are skiing now and they are twerking.
Oh no!
Really?
Yeah, they're twerking. They're twerking on the mountains.
Must be recent. I've been skiing quite a few times and I haven't actually seen any of those, which is surprising.
Maybe it was in America because they do ski in America. Maybe it hasn't come to the Alps yet, but
maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it is in the Alps now.
It will. It's getting. You can't escape diversity. You genuinely can't.
It's been a while since I've been skiing in the Alps. The last time I went skiing, which was just before COVID, was in Slovakia, and I guess it might be a bit.
Yeah.
The Carpathians are a bit further removed.
There was I just remember a video of some black guy, and he was just like filming all the equipment, and he was like, "There are thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars worth of equipment just lying around here." You know, he just couldn't get it through his head that nobody was stealing it, right? He just couldn't get it in his head. And these white people, they just leave all their expensive shit lying around on the ground, and nobody nicks it.
What a bunch of suckers! Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, there was
stop advertising it.
Yeah.
There was some BBC thing a few years ago, and it was a skiing thing about skiing, and they were going, but there is one glaring problem. It's almost completely white here. Yeah, that's the problem.
So the whole Jon Snow thing, is it like the Channel 4 webcaster's name, Jonathan Snow?
Yes.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So many white people. Yeah. God.
Yeah, it's like goes to Glastonbury. You in fact, I would say you could escape diversity there. I mean, nothing you can do about the acts, but if you sit in the middle of Glastonbury, you stand half a chance, I would imagine.
The worst is also the noisy hiking groups that they do. They get like a couple dozen of them just to sort of. It's like they're trying to claim territory, and they'll go out hiking in peaceful countryside, playing loud music as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
or when they have the big group barbecues and things. I went. My girlfriend and I went to Virginia Water recently, and it's like a big park thing. And we were walking around, and it just every few meters there was just a big family with having this barbecue. It was just so jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're claiming the space. There's a park bench in the town that I live in. I've just started noticing more and more and more the brown people sit in it. Like they just like the white people would never. I don't know what it is about white people. I guess we just don't like hang around in public places, but brown people tend to, and they just tend to sit on the park benches and kind of claim that space and drop litter everywhere. Yeah. Like they'll get.
They
fish
tend to
and
be
chips.
in massive groups as well. Groups of like 20 of them.
Did you see that one clip that's going around about the African view of time?
Oh yeah. Sargon was talking about
this one woman, and she's going, we don't see the future. That doesn't exist, and time is something you create. So they're milling around, just sitting. They don't view that as wasting time. They view that as they think, okay, we are just waiting for time to happen because they think time is created by events.
They just haven't unlocked that dimension yet.
Yeah, it's so they are walking backwards through time. Basically, they only see the past. They don't see the future. They can't plan forwards and think, well, if I do this in the future, X, Y, Z. So they think. So for them, time is just events that happen.
I don't want to get too mystical on you, but I had a dream once. I've never forgotten this dream. Basically, it's just such a strange thing, but I dreamt that I was like a black gangster, and it was just like I was just lived in the moment. Like there was I don't know. It was just such a funny dream, and I never forgot it. But I don't know how the brain works.
What sort were you? Were you one of those like
Brazilian
90s African American ones, like from the wild
like Brazilian in the favela? But I can even remember it to this day. But it was just like there was no past, there was no future, there was only the present.
Yeah, that's how they think.
Yeah,
it's so weird for us like to realize that these people are just their minds work on completely differently. They don't see things at all the same we do. So yeah, the milling around is waiting for time to happen. That's it. And like a year isn't 365 days. A year is when they've had 4 seasons. They can't think ahead of it, and that could be whenever. And it's and like going on from this. Have you seen the 15-second African?
No.
So this is this process. It's like how the African man can only see 15 seconds into the future. So like when you point a gun when like the police officer points a gun at an African guy running away and saying stop or I'll shoot, he can't think 15 seconds in the future, well, I'll be dead. He just thinks not shooting me now, so he keeps running. And then
what you mean to say is like their capacity to think ahead.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist.
It's not the case that they're able to see what's going to happen 15 seconds in advance.
Yeah. It's like why? But they view that person 15 seconds future. That's a different African. That's not them. That's like why should I not blow all my money on some tricked out rims for this car that I can't afford on credit?
So it's time preference.
That's some other African who will have to pay for it. I can get that now, and they just don't.
Which one was the time preference for the immediacy? Was it high or low time preference?
High time preference is you want things now.
Yeah, so it's high time preference.
Yeah.
The whole IQ thing is really is very fascinating. Like the lower you go down in IQ, like the the abilities that you lose, essentially, like the whole it was all over Twitter, like I can't remember what it's called, the whole hypothetical, what was it, hypothetical
yeah.
what was
the ability to understand hypotheticals.
What if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Yeah, what if you didn't have breakfast
I
this
did.
morning? And they're like, but I did. And it's like, no, but what if you didn't? And it's like, no, but I did. And it's like, no, but what? And they don't get it. They just don't understand it. They literally can't. They don't have the. It's fascinating. I really like to read like some kind of book or something which explained it in more depth. But it's just like you can see it's like almost like it's like descending into hell.
Yeah,
you know. It's
I remember.
The lower you go down on the IQ scale, the less things that you are capable of comprehending until you essentially just become an Aborigine living in Papua New Guinea, and you're just like fucking eating children and doing all kinds of the weird shit that they do, because you become an animal. You become an animal because animals have got low IQ. This is why people would call them. This is why our Victorian ancestors would literally call them savages, because they were savage, because they were animalistic, because they had low IQ. And animals have low IQ. So what do you see in the animal kingdom? You see rape, you see incest, you see cannibalism, you see all of these qualities.
I was just laughing then, because I was thinking of, when you were describing that, I was thinking about Carl Pilkington talking about if you took a monkey and someone with low IQ and you pit them against each other, what would happen? So I was laughing my head off in my head when you were talking about that.
I remember about 6 or 7 years ago, I watched a Jordan Peterson clip, which you lot might have seen, where and it stuck with me, where he spoke about IQ, and he spoke about how the US military did a study into it during the Cold War. And they concluded that I think it was an IQ of 85 or something.
I think it was 75.
75. Either way, it's something like that. Anyone with an IQ of that or lower could not be given a single task to do in the US military that would not be detrimental. Not a single task. And the reason that's scary is because that's actually quite a large amount of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah. And the US military, as Peterson says, they have they're not messing about. They have an actual incentive to get this right, to find something that they can give to these people that would be beneficial in some way. And obviously everything needs to be as best as it can be because it's the military.
Yeah.
And there was not a single thing, not a single job that they could give to anyone with an IQ that low.
Because the military has so many just, paper pushing jobs and just little things, and there's nothing.
Yeah, not even cleaning the floors.
Yeah. It costs more to try and make you do that than just
to show them how to do it. Yeah.
And then keep correcting the mistakes.
Are you saying Forrest Gump was wrong then?
Yes.
You ever seen the Forrest Gump film? And then
who knows? Maybe he was a secret genius.
I think it was done. I think it was done in the wake of Vietnam. I think actually, with the Forrest Gump stuff. I think because it might have been because I think it was around
the IQ data stuff.
Yeah, because it was around that time when that was when they wanted. Okay, we need more people, and that was when they sort of started looking into.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned it had something to do with Kissinger or someone, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
but either way, it's a scary stat.
Yeah, it's like, how can you expect whole nations like this to ever be anything?
Yeah, and another reason it's scary is there's the whole IQ shredders thing, which is that IQ is going down slowly, and a lot of it is because a lot of higher IQ people are just not having children and are getting outbred. It's the plot of that film. I can't remember what it's called.
Idiocracy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's actually happening.
Yeah, and think about that Harvey Danger song, Flagpole Sitter, been around the world and seen that only stupid people are breeding.
Yeah.
The IQ thing really is genuine fact, because if you think about it, high IQ, the more high IQ you are, the more easily it is to get absorbed in your mind. So you can just sit and think about stuff. You can just sit there, this and that and what, and you can read a book and you can think about. So the less you need to interact with other people, the more individualistic you become, the more, you could argue, connected with God you become, or higher spiritual aspirations, because you can understand, kind of universalist concepts. And probably the less materialistic you become as well, because you don't need the money to keep you happy. You can just follow an idea. Like, you can sit down, you can think, oh, I'm going to study mathematics, and you gain pleasure from that. Whereas the lower you go down the
I don't know if anyone gains pleasure from mathematics, but I get your point.
They do. I mean, I really want to do it. I mean, I've been gagging for it for years. I still remember I did A-level math for a year, and then I quit and I did a different course, and I still want to go back to it to this day, just to like, what did I miss? I genuinely feel like something is missing.
Thirsting of mathematics.
No, I do. Like it's even like when I was a teenager, I brought what's his name? Wittgenstein. He went to the same school as Hitler. Wittgenstein, Tractus Logicus Philosophicus. And I never understood it, because it's all just like a bunch of logical fucking
empiricism.
It's not empiricism. It's Bertrand Russell style. Like, I don't understand, but it's logical. It's just a whole bunch series of equations. Like they basically rejected old school Aristotelian logic, and they created their own logic.
No, I got the wrong E. I meant epistemology is what I meant. Got confused with the earlier discussion on empiricism.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they created a very sophisticated logical language, which is essentially the basis for all 20th century mathematics and technology and everything. I mean, I want to know it. I don't know it, and I feel like a fucking retard.
It's not worth reading Wittgenstein.
The scary thing is, I should know it, because I did a degree in philosophy, and Wittgenstein was one. I remember being really impressed with him, but I can't remember a single philosophy, so I don't know what it says about me.
Well, what impressed me, apparently,
his whole thing was epistemology.
In the First World War, he volunteered to go to the front of the lines, because the closer to death he was, the more he could concentrate on his logic. So, like, he was like a genuinely like dedicated person, but you wouldn't see a black man doing that.
God's own prototype there. He's had a good plan for Mercian's erotic women's fiction. He just got to inject some nationalist themes into it. Have the white man save the woman from a bunch of diversity, and then he ravishes her.
Yeah, get some uniforms designed by Hugo Boss as well. That'll help.
Yeah, I support that. You should write it, God's own prototype. I'll even read it. I'll read it for you. But yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, but I mean, my point is high IQ. Like, I think there is genuinely like I think like unintelligent people can be good, morally good, but I think there is a connection between morality and intelligence. There has to be. Generally speaking, the higher IQ you have, the more detached from materialism you're going to be, the more interested in esoteric subjects you're going to be, and so on and so forth. The lower your IQ,
you're just impulse driven. Yeah,
you're going to be driven by your impulses. You're going to want to be hanging out with other people all the time. You're going to be chasing after money, drugs, sex, etc., and that's just the way it is. You know. But,
where the front.
You can have a dog that's good. Right? What's the IQ of a dog? I don't know, 40, 50, I don't know, but it's loyal and it loves you and it will serve you. So I don't really fully understand the connection between morality and IQ, because you can have a very high. I bet Bill Gates has got a high IQ, but he's an absolute cunt. Do you know what I mean? So
the thing with dogs, though, is that kind of obedience that dogs have, that was bred into them.
Yeah. Yeah, you need us. You need someone. You need a high IQ like us to teach that to them. Otherwise, they're just feral.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, we did try this, like the whole white man's burden thing. I mean, we failed.
So now we're circling around eugenics. Brilliant.
Well, the only one. Look, if you want to help, I mean, this is a controversial opinion. Nobody else is saying it, but you want to help the lower races. What you have to do is breed with them. I mean, that's genuinely speaking. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way you can raise these people up. You can't raise them up through education.
Well, I'm with you on the whole Casanova thing. I mean, if you want to claim this, maybe she's got mates. I don't know. I mean, if you notice, fit women hang around with fit women, and ugly birds hang around with ugly birds. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
There is sometimes the one ugly one in a group of attractive women, so that they it's like they don't have to compete against themselves because there's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question in the chat. Where are you guys meeting women these days? Dumped my ex and could use some inspiration. I was advised to try yoga, but I was hoping it didn't have to come to that. I don't know. Yeah,
we said about running the other day, running clubs.
I've been playing with the idea of going to some kind of dance school.
Yeah,
I was planning to go to a chess club.
I met mine at university.
Yeah, well, if you pass 40, it's all over. That's all I can say. But apparently the Zoomers go to running clubs. Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. So if you're this is what Zoomers do. They go to running clubs and they meet girls at running clubs.
You're not going to get a fat chick then either. So that's good filter there.
Yeah. So, and I've found dancers. I'm going to go try dance club because there'll be less men there.
Yeah,
less men to compete with. I'll tell you now, there's very few unfit dancers. They're usually fit women.
I mean, yeah.
I was about to say a good one might be a book club, but then we discussed the state of literature earlier on, so maybe not.
Yeah, go to your women's literature course. Yeah, I don't think that's for you. But yeah, aren't dance things like students? They're normally gagging for men, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, the only type of men that usually go in those dances are going to be gay, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So you can assert yourself as the alpha there quite easily.
Yeah.
I worked in a factory, and there was a farmer boy that used to work there, and he told me go horse riding.
Yes. Yeah, horse riding.
Yes, there's a big yes from Tharium. Yeah, go horse riding. Get the farmer girl that likes to ride a horse. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Iron Duke told us a particular story that he had when he was horse riding, but I shan't repeat it on stream.
No, I want to hear. No, what?
I'm not going to repeat it.
Well, they like a big animal between their legs. I mean, that's what I'm going to say. Do you know what I mean? Like they understand.
I mean, and who doesn't like the farm girl, right?
Yeah, base
farm girl. Remember that American farm girl that was doing the rounds?
The catfish thing with the catfish. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember her. Yeah. There was some Muslim lady, and she was like covered in makeup, and she was like, she's so ugly, and it's like, fuck you, she's beautiful. Yeah, proper tomboy, like in the water with like a fish in her hand. Good relationship with her father, healthy. Yeah, I mean she was a catch. Yeah.
I did find a name, didn't I? I forgot it again.
Yeah, she's a famous e-celeb, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got a YouTube channel. I did share it with Tharium a few months ago, but I forgot what it is again now. But anyone in the chat wants to find it at your leisure, go ahead. It's like Kaiser Noble and that
Hannah Barron. That's it.
Yeah, Hannah Barron. You can find her. Don't stalk them then, though. I reckon they get enough attention. Try the horse riding and dance classes first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any of these sort of things that get a lot of women going to them, not much men. I think that's always.
You just got to go to a social environment.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere where people are more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't throw yourself at these. The thing about women is that they're attracted to men who do their own thing and don't necessarily focus on them.
You need to come across them organically, which is why it's useful to go to an event or a club or something, because then you're there for that and not for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
and then when you're there, you just got to be cracking jokes and things and that sort of stuff. That's how you win them over.
You just have a person. So we talk about going horse riding and dancing, but actually being interested in those things, don't make it very obvious that you're only there for one thing, because that's not going to go well.
I mean, those things can be fun by themselves, which you should have. That's just going to be your best thing. If it's something that you can enjoy yourself.
But essentially just find something that you enjoy that women are interested in as well, and you'll do fine. I mean, I would sort of say indulge in your own passions, but Dungeons and Dragons and things like that ain't going to get you very far, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got to go where the women are. Familiarity goes a long way as well. Like if you work with women, they see you every day, they'll just flirt with you because they know you, and that's it. You know, that's why a lot of people that work in the same office
get quite good with puns because it's easy humor and it works.
Yeah, and you never want to be too desperate. Women repulsed by that.
Yeah, you don't want to be an incel. You have to Actually, I worked in a factory once, and I worked with this guy, and he was one of the fattest guys I've ever met in my life. Like really fat, really ugly, but he just had this thing. He just stood there. He was like, "Yeah, all the girls love me," you know. And it was like, you look at him and you're like, "No, they don't." But he just said it like he believed it. He was like, "Yeah, all the girls fucking love me."
Sure.
Over me. Yeah, and it's like, but it worked. It worked. It was like,
wait, really?
Like, well, it kind of worked. I mean, it was like stupid, insane confidence that he didn't deserve. But he wasn't playing this game of, oh, I'm so sad that I'm fat or whatever. He was just like, fucking yeah, you know, all the women love me, and it kind of worked.
Did they actually though, or is he just bullshitting you?
Well, he had a wife. So
okay.
He had a wife. He had some kids. You know, so I mean, he's doing something right. You know. But,
Sarah will watch this later. He said. He says how as soon as he got engaged, he started getting a lot more attention from women.
Oh yeah, I love that wedding because women look for those marks on men. You know, so it's kind of like a rating system, really, if you think about it. So like some of the woman is rated, and they want things that they can't have usually.
They want the guy that every other woman wants. That's what they want.
Yeah, they're looking for status, you know, and that's why the confidence thing works, because if you can give yourself the air of status, it works.
That's why the number one insult they'll give you is they call you an incel. And then what they're basically saying when they call you an incel is that nobody wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
You have no status.
Yeah. That's it. That's the insult. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what unfortunately that's what women. That's a problem. That's a problem with feminism. It's sort of like it strips men of their status. It's almost trying to get women repulsed by men. Feminism. That's the problem with it. We're not going to hook up if men don't have status, because that's what women are attracted to. Yeah. You why is Instagram so popular? So women can show off to other women how status their life is. So like, we've gone on a holiday here, and you know, look at this house and look at this materialistic thing. Women love to show off to the other women that do like to get it. They say they don't like hierarchy. They love hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
They're always trying to fuck each other over, trying to get above another woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone a bit quiet. What else about women?
I was going to say something. I've lost it now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. And I wouldn't be too concerned. Like if they seem a bit shit-libby, I wouldn't be too concerned about that.
Oh no, yeah. 100%.
Most of them.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah. Most of them are just following basic social pressure. It's not any sort. It's not any real belief. And as long as you can be charming and confident, you will drag them to you. They will sort of mold to you. That's fine. I mean, some are, of course.
Anything. Just don't talk politics with them, and just don't use that as a part of the relationship you're trying to build. It should be a separate thing.
Yeah, and some are totally nuts, right? But
sure. I mean, if you get like someone who's radical, but we're talking like your average normie kind of woman.
Yeah.
Well, we'll push back on I wouldn't talk about politics, but I also wouldn't hide it from them either. If that makes sense.
I find it's like you've got to take a very nonchalant sort of approach with it.
Yeah, it's like this for me, and I don't want to discuss
I find
it.
it's a bit easier for me because I did PPE at university and I'm working a political job now, and so like the political discussion there's always a hierarchy to it.
Yeah,
and that means that there's always like I think that this particular thing is this way, but Jack thinks it's another way. Oh, but he knows more about it than me, so he's probably right. It's how it tends to go.
I will say this: there's a hell of a lot of attractive bass to him. You know, I mean, like who would have thought Will's mom's based? And Bev Turner from GB News, I think she's hot.
yeah,
But a lot of it, if you want to encourage women to be based, a lot of it is just presenting issues to them, but taking out a lot of just keywords.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my girlfriend recently reading C.A. Bond's Nemesis, which is an analysis of the Juvenalian model, and I've got her reading it, even though she's not based or right wing or anything, just on the basis that she has absolutely no clue that it is a based right wing thing, because it's so abstract and removed.
There's always avenues like so my ex-girlfriend was into Orwell and Huxley, right? That's very easy to twist into modern day settings, you know, from the right wing perspective. I know the left seem to think that Orwell especially, because you know when Trump first got into power and the 1984 sold in droves. It's sort of like, you guys don't know what to do. Read Animal Farm as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta stay away from the politics. I think when you talk to the women, that's
what we were saying.
Yeah, they really freak out. They're very, very, very conformist creatures.
An argument I found with stuff that's always worked well on women is, well, everyone thinks sort of something, like with like trannies. I've had kind of like they'll be talking, I just say, you know, everyone thinks this is nonsense, right? No, it has actually sort of cut through. I don't know.
Something about you just tell them everybody else thinks this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, fucking yeah."
I mean, also like a lot of that stuff, like they know it's bullshit, right? And it just takes someone to tell them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember being in bed with a girl actually, and I just started talking, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so fed up with these fucking gay flags everywhere, these gay pride flags everywhere, and she's just like, oh my god, you're a homophobe, and it's just like,
my favorite thing is I saw that. I don't know any of you guys saw it, but do you like it when the Palestine flag meets the pride flag and they have a fight? Oh, I sit down and get my popcorn out for that one. That's brilliant. Because we all know who's going to win that ultimately. Yeah, because we've seen it. It's the Palestine flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad. Like the fact of the matter is, if you believe in the truth and you are concerned about your country going down the shithole, then women will be disturbed by that, and that's just the way it is. Like, unfortunately, you are damaging your dating life. That's just a fact. And that's the sacrifice that you have to make, because women don't believe in the truth in general. They are very, very conformist and materialistic, and you know, if you take a radical political position, they're going to be upset by it. They're going to reject it. They're going to be disturbed by it, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
It depends how well you know the woman. I mean, you shouldn't be mentioning any of this on a first date.
No,
yeah, Brutus.
But like when if you're in a relationship with them at some point, like as Mercy said, you don't want to just hide it. You know, eventually you have to win them round. I mean, you just have to be clever about how you do it. A lot of it you have to just go with abstract sort of things, but without the labels. Like if you present the ideas without the labels, very often they'll agree. It's like you know the meme about like people presenting Hitler quotes and everyone agrees with it, and then they say, "Oh, this was by Hitler, by the way." It's like that sort of tactic. And another one I've done, like for instance, to show my girlfriend the issue with immigration, just get in her head the idea of overcrowding, is to just drive her around the countryside villages near me where they're building houses, saying, "Look at these fields that they're destroying. Isn't it bad that they cut down these trees to build all these ugly homes?" She said, she then thinks, "Oh, why are they building all these houses?" And slowly 2 and 2 go together.
Where's your local diversity enclave as well? drive there now after you've done that. So, I wonder where all these people are going to live.
I do think, though, I do genuinely think there is a kind of like, there is an advantage. I just don't know exactly how to use it, but there is definitely because women are attracted to racist men for sure, 100%. They're attracted to racist right-wing men because they know on an instinctive level that this is the kind of guy that's going to defend them. Yeah. So
I've had a lot of success with getting women onto being supporting of guns, because they might have not been before because guns bad. But like what always works is just say, well, I think all women should be armed so they can defend themselves from rapist men, and that just sort of flips it entirely. Like, I should be able to do that. It's all about them then. They sort of think that's fine.
Yeah. Women are
I think
quite nice
in a broader, in beyond just dating and stuff, in a broader political context, I do think there's a big avenue there for getting women on board with the whole safety thing.
Yeah. Which is
what do you guys think about
it's an inherent contradiction. It's an inherent contradiction in that they're all feminists, but at the same time they want to bring as many of these people in as they can.
What do you think about Jez Phillips and her whole women's initiative? I mean, I think it's fucking fantastic, to be honest with you. What do you guys think about that?
The women's safety thing?
Yeah.
The one where they're in Westminster and yes, I know what you mean. Sure. I mean, it seems like a decent enough little
everything
movement.
helps.
I've seen they've got loads of attention.
Yeah,
but the problem I have is if it's Jess Phillips, there's going to be a lot of cognitive dissonance there.
I don't think it's Jess Phillips, is it?
Isn't it? Is that her name? Did I get her name wrong?
Are you thinking Jess Gill?
Oh fuck! Did I get her
name I was about to say I'm
Jess Phillips is an MP.
Doing that. The thing is,
who am I talking about then? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a few of them, right?
Sorry, I've had a few drinks. Okay, I forget it.
The one with a few e-girls in it, sort of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Jess Gill is who you're thinking of.
Jess Gill. Okay.
I was about to say,
who's Jess Phillips?
Jess Phillips would do.
She's a Labour MP.
Oh, fuck that. No, sorry.
For Yardley, and she barely got in as well.
Yeah, she's just a man hater. Hates all men.
The only issue I have with the Women's Safety Initiative, or whatever it's called, is that I just don't believe that protests and things like that work. But I will say the messaging, I definitely think there is something there, especially when we talk about women seeing what other women do and trying to conform to it.
I mean, my view of protests is the main benefit of them is it gives people a chance to communicate, get to know each other, meet new people, build different networks from that.
Yeah, Jess Gill. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Yeah.
You don't want to confuse. You don't want to confuse them. So you're on a date, so like Jess Gill or Phillips, and you turn it to Phillips. Like fucking hell.
Whatever.
You leave saying how you wouldn't even rape her. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, was she the one that Sargon said that about?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh no, man. What a mistake. Oh god. Anyway, Jess Gill. Sorry, Jess. Legend. What a legend. What a good girl. She's a good. Do you see this fucking video? Do you see this cunt?
Come to Greg's. You can claim your free drinks. This is how easy it is, guys.
Oh, look at the security.
Does he just steal?
Yeah. Look at security. Oh, look at that.
Security guards not doing anything.
I wonder why.
That's how you get your free drinks.
To be fair, like why should anybody follow the law? Like why
Yeah, I
should
know,
anybody?
Yeah, if it's
Why
not
get
would
being
this
we be
feeling.
enforced.
following the law?
Yeah.
Like I got to tell you like, an embarrassing story. I went to Tesco's about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I got all my shopping, and I was going through the automatic till thing, and I put in my my Tesco's club card, and I'm actually not even, I haven't even checked my bank account to check whether or not it's happened or not, but I think like the person standing next to me, I think they paid for theirs, and you know that the Tesco's machine, it says, "Oh, you've paid, you can move on." And I think like it triggered something in my brain, and I'm just like half asleep. I think I signed in my club card, and I don't think I paid, and I think I walked out because the woman was giving me a funny look, the security guard was giving me a funny look, and I haven't been back to Tesco since. So I think maybe I have stolen from Tesco.
You worried that you're gonna, if you go back, you're gonna get taken into custody.
No, they won't do anything to me because obviously they don't fucking care. But I mean, I feel kind of bad about it, and I'm embarrassed to go back.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, why should I even follow the law?
What we need is Lee Kuan Yew. We need him to come back from the grave.
Anglo Kwan Yew. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
Oh, he was the founder of Singapore. And
right.
so Singapore and Malaysia were one country when they were given independence from the British, but then they split because they couldn't agree, because Malaysia is a majority Malay Muslim country, whereas Singapore is majority Sino, and then they're not a Muslim majority. I don't know if they're Buddhist or what, and so they split, and so Singapore became its own country, and Lee Kuan Yew became the I guess he was a de facto dictator, really, but he made the country what it is today, which is, if you haven't been, it's astonishing. It's so optimistic. Everything it's unbelievable, and crucially, it's safe. You can just leave like your wallet on a bench and then go away for a few hours, and you'll come back and it will still be there. And it's because the policing there is very strict. It's very, very strict.
So
that's why I say that
20-year-olds should go travel, and Singapore should be one of those places they go.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you would just go into Singapore. It does open your eyes up to quite a lot. It really changed my view on a lot of things.
Yeah. I saw a video of a YouTube video about Japan, and there was a tourist, and she left her phone on a park bench, and she came back 2 or 3 days later. Somebody had put it in a plastic bag for her to defend it from the rain.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like insane.
It's like that in
levels
Singapore as well.
Yeah, it's just, man, imagine living in a country like that. Imagine living in a super high trust country like that, where the police officers, they've got nothing to do. They literally just don't have anything to do in Japan. They just gotta mill around the place.
Yeah, well, with Japan, I think it's high trust, but with Singapore, it's just very much because it's heavily policed.
I saw
like they still have caning there, and they still have public executions and things.
As I say,
some public executions, really?
Wait, no, I think they still have executions. They're not public. The caning is public.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I saw some American tourist, a teenager. He was on holiday in Singapore.
Yeah, he was caned.
He thought he'd do a bit of graffiti, public lashings.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do say with multiculturalism, high trust society, not with multiculturalism, you need to be totalitarian, and for monoculture, it just exists.
Yeah.
I mean, this country, there are patches where it's still high trust. I mean, I remember when I was taking my driving test, my provisional, and they just started doing the kind of written test on the computers and whatnot, the theory.
And
yeah, and I came out of the theory test, and I must have dropped my provisional license. It turned up in the post like a few days later.
Yeah, if you go into the countryside, you can see lots of people. They've got like eggs or vegetables. Or drop a pound coin in the box or whatever. Yeah, very, very high trust. Yeah. Won't last long though, will it?
No.
We've reached the 3-hour mark. I don't want to I think maybe we should end it here. Do you guys want to end it here? Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
You're the host.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to go to work in the morning, so I'm going to wake up early. So we'll end it here. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Mariam, Jack, Mercian. Thank you, everybody in the chat. 33 people watching. Masonic number. Very nice. And do you want to do it again next week? Should we just do this like every Sunday? Like, what do you guys want to do? Maybe.
Yeah,
I can't be a
do.
guest every Sunday.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Tharium? Tharium next Sunday?
I can do that, yeah.
Banging. Right. Well, we'll see you next Sunday. And thank you very much for watching. God bless and rule Britannia. Bush.